Then we are up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the party. Welcome to Leverage.
Hello.
Yeah. So, my name is Jim DeBison, also known as Bisonic, and Kevin Myers. I will be your fixer for the night, and we will be playing. We're we're playing Leverage, people. We've done this a couple of times. We know what we're doing. Kind of. Sort of.
We do?
No.
You cocky bastard.
Yeah, I'm a little out of it this week, so please excuse me if I introduce magic goblin fairies or something. Alright, so,
It's the Leverage Librarians crossover everybody wanted.
that would be a lot of fun. Alright, I have so many things to say about a Cowboy Bebop reboot, but anyway. Alright,
Different stream.
different stream. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce our crew. Let's start with, Jeff. Just tell us who you are and give us your role.
Hi, I'm Jeff Holland, JK Holland on Twitter. I am Burke, the hitter character.
Alright, and Evan, go right ahead.
I am Evan Jennings. I'm Zombie Love Juice on Twitter and Instagram and all kinds of things. And I'm going to be Eli Wells, the mastermind.
Alright, and Michi?
I am Michi at MichiStars on Twitter, and I am playing Isabel, who is the grifter.
Alright, and Nerdy Teddy.
Hey, I'm Nerdy Titty, and I am playing Rainbow, and I am the hacker.
Alright, so the episode starts with a scene of Rainbow at a desk, or at a table looking very intensely. And sitting across from Rainbow is a guy wearing sunglasses inside with like a fedora on. And in front of him, he's holding a bunch of cards. And on the table is a bunch of cards. And it's a tournament for the game War Gatherer 20 XDX.
Nice.
The only two, then there's an announcer who goes in and says, "All right, this is the final round." Alan Goodwin has been rocketing his way through the ranks recently. And what name would Rainbow be going by in this tournament?
Holly Evans.
Holly Evans has been burning up the ranks as well. All right, their match 1-1. Whoever wins this final match wins the entire tournament. All right, and so
Can I be betting on them?
no, this is in the past.
Damn. Okay, all right.
What are you in jail?
This be what sent him to
Money.
jail.
It's the
They're
only thing
watching
they let us watch.
ESPN4.
They only let us watch card games. It sucks.
But yeah, and so it's a very intense game, and do you want to roll me what would it be? Alertness hacker?
Okay.
Or, yeah, an alertness for this one. Let me call up some stuff. Here's my fixer tab. There we go. Yeah, alertness and hacker. Give me an alertness hacker. Alright. Oh, what's his name? Alan's doing well. But let's see. It looks like Alan, the match is evenly tied. There are a number of things on the board that no one needs to explain because the actual mechanics of the
Oh my
game
god.
in front of them don't really matter. And we see Holly pull a card and just look at it, just like, oh. And then it's Alan's turn, and Alan says, "I tap to attack." And at that point, and the announcer goes, "Oh no, this looks like it's going to be a fatal blow." At which point, a bunch of people burst in the side of the door in black FBI jackets, and come up and interrupt the match and arrest Alan on the spot. They say, what is it? "Alan Goodwin, you're under arrest for racketeering, extortion, money laundering, and theft. And they start reading him his rights, and he looks completely shocked and pissed off, and he throws his deck at Holly Moore, or Holly. Yeah, Holly Evans.
Win by default. Hey!
And
Hey!
I get a plot point for that, right?
yeah, you do.
Awesome.
Rainbow takes a plot point early in the game. And
Good place to roll a 1 on.
yeah. And he throws his deck at Holly Evans and is taken out of there by the police. He's yelling over at a woman. He says, "Marissa, pick up all my cards. Don't leave them. Like, I'll pay you back. Get them for me." And we see a young woman in like a black T-shirt with dark glasses and black medium length hair gather up all of his stuff, and the announcer goes, "Well, that was a crazy turn of events, but I guess that's a forfeit. So our winner is Holly Evans." And there is a small thing, and then we will cut to the opening credits. And leverage. All right. Sorry. We then go to the bar where you guys meet clients. It is, yeah, things are beginning to roll with in the bar. It's kind of busy, and you come in with a man with a white guy, close-cropped beard in his mid-30s, glasses, short hair, good-looking in like a red T-shirt, and he's talking to who would be there? Who would he be telling his story to? This is the client.
Probably me.
So, yes, we've got Eli there. Anyone else want to be with Eli? Or just Eli?
No, I'll sit.
Yeah, you might need someone else there with Eli. All right, so he goes, I work at John J. Adams Memorial Hospital, and 2 weeks ago we were hit by a massive ransomware attack. Like, it was very sudden, and...
Someone took somebody ransom, so we got a missing person. Who'd they take?
No, they took the entire hospital ransom. All the computers, everything.
So there are terrorists in there? Well, that's a whole different situation.
No, they just...
The FBI.
They took all the computers.
Bert just rests a hand on his shoulder, just a slight squeeze. Just let him finish.
All right, carry on.
All right, so yeah, so we had a massive Trojan worm in the system, and no one. What? No one perished.
I want him to continue to not speak.
Oh, you're doing that to Eli, not to the client.
Yes.
Okay. And then everything went crazy for a moment, and we managed to stabilize all the patients before any systems got taken down. Unfortunately, none of the medications got mixed or anything like that could possibly happen. And we immediately called the FBI, and within like 3 hours, they brought in this guy who punched in who did something weird to the computers, and the entire thing disappeared like magic. The thing is, the FBI says it's gone and that their expert did a great job, but they won't tell us who the expert was, and I think I see traces of it in the system. And the FBI won't listen to me. They say it's solved. I ran in hacker circles about 5 years ago. I'm an IT admin for the hospital now. But, you know, I knew people, but I didn't get into the black hat stuff. But, you know, and I read a couple of forums and some articles about a guy who would leave ASCII art of a Tommy gun. And he would go by Al Capone. And so he disappeared for a while, but the part of this thing I isolated had that ASCII Tommy gun in it. And this ransomware looks a lot like the Meerkat botnet that was going around last year. I'm freaked out. Like, if this hits a hospital that isn't...
So let me try to piece this together. You're telling me someone gave... Now, I could hang on a little bit. Someone gave your computer a virus. Yeah. And then the virus
We're so good.
is in the shape of a little... It's a picture of a little Tommy gun. That shows that the virus is in there? Or is that his calling card?
Yes, that's closer to it.
I understand. Okay,
It's a bit of a steganography where they tacked it onto the end of an image file.
All right, those are words I don't need to know. So he left his calling card after he put the virus in your computer. The virus is called Meerkat.
Yeah, Myrcat.
Oh, I got that right. Okay, so Meerkat. And after the virus hit your computer, the FBI brought someone in, magically cleaned it all up, pushed a couple buttons, and all was well, but there's still a little bit of it in there.
Well, he didn't push. Yes, essentially.
Okay. So it sounds like maybe you were actually con. That sounds like a con to me. And neither.
But no, that was the real FBI. Like,
maybe
They give you contact information.
yeah, and he lists a couple of FBI agents whose names are Rory Gerard. And Shaniqua Delmark.
Shaniqua?
Shaniqua.
Delmark.
Yeah.
All right. We can check them out, make sure that they're legit. If they're legit, he could be running it underneath because that's what that sounds like to me.
Mr. Munch, why don't you tell me what your suspicion is, and we can work from there.
I think the guy they brought in was the hacker that goes by A1 Capone. So Al Capone.
So you think the FBI is working with a hacker? Do you think... I'll save that for later.
I think...
Go on.
I think he's doing this and they don't know it.
Yeah, he might be ballsy enough. If he's that good, who knows? All right. Well, now what do you want from us? You want us to get rid of this virus? You want us to make sure we can't do it again?
My hospital was well prepared. I've done a good job at that, but I know that's a rarity. A lot of hospitals are and other important functions aren't ready for that kind of attack.
Okay.
And the fact that we spotted it early and got in and got the FBI in fast, no one died this time.
Died? People can die from it? What does this do?
It shuts down computers.
A low-level ransomware attack will only attack admin systems, which by itself is not that scary. But with so many hospital technology hooked up to Internet of Things, it's easy to target them, and you can target individuals within a hospital.
Yeah, our hospital does...
Conceivably, you could stop somebody's heart.
Also, our hospital does distance... Like, the doctor will be in another state type surgery with machines. And if that went down while someone was in surgery... remote surgical systems, which were unprepared for this sort of attack.
This is not a hacker. This is a fucking terrorist. I mean, he's liable to hurt people. He's liable to kill people for money.
I'm not even sure it's for money.
That's definitely a terrorist. He's just doing it for the jollies or for some stupid meaning. Fuck it. We'll take the case. Hell yeah. Bert? Anything else to ask?
We'll look into it.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, and he'll get up and leave, and leaving you to talk.
All right. So, we got a hacker problem. I mean, I know who I want to call.
Where is Rainbow?
No idea. Do you want to flash over to Rainbow?
Rainbow's probably at her workshop doing something.
What would Rainbow be playing? What game would it be a not exactly knockoff of that Rainbow would be playing when they come in?
Oh.
Where's Rainbow now? I don't know, but she said it was real important. Said not to be disturbed.
Life or death, the phrasing was, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? Then in that case, it would be some like Warcraft-like MMORPG deal.
A new raid was just released.
Yeah, like a timed event or something.
It was a what you call it, like the smoking patrol. No, let's see, Phantasma.
The Attack of the Lightning Lizard, and it was only a one-day event.
Phantasmarasma.
Phantasma, the Lightning Phantasm.
The Lightning Phantasm.
It was a new expansion for.
I love that ELO album.
Lightning Phantasm. Yeah, it was an expansion for, let's say, Battle Build? No, that sounds dumb. Battlecraft is good enough. So anyway, unimportant, minor detail. But yeah. Lightning Phantasm.
So
I'm writing this down. This might come up later.
Do we walk in on Rainbow just playing this stupid game instead of doing something important?
Yeah, just at a computer, probably yelling at people. You have
Does
to break.
Rainbow know that we know where she lives?
Oh yeah, because
Probably.
she lives in the workshop. So
Wait, so you're yelling at people?
yeah.
So we go up to the door. As soon as we hear that, Burke, kick it down.
I kicked down the door.
All right, give me an athletics, or is it strength? Strength. What you call it? Strength hitter. That's the term. I was gonna say strength strong person. So yeah. Okay, so you failed to raise the stakes on it. So you kick it, and the door bolt. Rainbow has secured your door pretty well. So you give it. It takes 2 kicks. And we'll just say Rainbow's got a headset on so heavy that it's like noise canceling. Yes.
Thump. Something shakes off a shelf. Thump. Can of Nightmare Stallion falls off the shelf.
Yeah, Cannon Nightmare Stallion falls onto Rainbow's keyboard.
Oh no.
I let Burke run in first, and I just keep
Smoking at the door.
What's going on?
All right, so yeah, Burke gets in, and Rainbow's there with a Cannon Nightmare Stallion leaking onto her multicolored keyboard.
Still unaware?
Is she dead?
She'd be aware of the multicolored keyboard.
Alright, so I very carefully put a hand on her shoulder and spin her around.
What did you do?
What did you do?
We were winning.
This is not. And I just walk back outside.
I'm
standing in her living room, just kind of looking around.
You know what would be hilarious if Isabel pops in from the other room and is like, Isabel was in the same raid that suddenly failed. Isabel didn't know why.
Isabel just kind of pokes in with like a wine glass in hand, like, what the hell? We were winning!
We got a job, Annie up. What's Rainbow's house look like?
Oh
Yeah, what is the rest of the workshop? We've seen
yeah, it's basically there's just like a back room that technically she's probably not supposed to be living in, but there's like a couple of rooms back there. Like there's like a break room that she uses as a kitchen, and then just like there's like a couple of small rooms that she put like cots in and such for bedrooms.
What
and
is
then
this attached to?
It's just a big like warehouse type building that they like
A
converted.
machine shop.
Yep, exactly.
Live there.
The cots totally have really nice fancy sheets on them.
Like $1,000 sheets.
Fanciest
That was just
in
like, no,
town.
no. This is not going to stay in here.
interesting place. Real spacious.
Yeah.
So, should we all sit down around the planning board and discuss?
You sit down, I'm listening and putting the door back on its hinges.
Which,
Found
by
a
the way, you're
toolbox.
paying for that.
So,
Not paying for anything, I can fix it.
So, here's the job. We're being hired by Stephen Munch, IT for a John J. Adams hospital. Says that someone gave his computer some sort of virus. It's some kind of cat virus. After the virus popped in, he knew that it was by a particular nasty customer who left a calling card of a Tommy gun. This man's name is
Oh boy.
Al Capone. Al Capone, right?
You
Was
got
not the right.
I've shown you guys what it looks like. Yeah. Feel free to play with it.
So
Boom.
this hacker, right? That's the term, hacker. Al Capone left in the virus. Suddenly, the hospital's under ransom. So they bring in the FBI. The FBI brings in an expert. The expert gets rid of the virus in 2 seconds. Bing, bang, boom. He leaves, they leave. They say, oh, good job. Turns out there might be a little bit of the virus left in the system. Stephen Munch wants us to bring down whodunit. So, my first question to you is, what is a cat virus and how does it spread?
Oh.
And also, how do I get pictures out of an email? And also, how do I get in my email? Because I have forgotten the password again. So, Rainbow, that's second. That's not top priority.
Yeah, we will deal with your email issues later.
All right. Good enough.
As for the cat virus, it's a bot. It's a you put it in and it's generally triggered by something, but it
Right.
just a hacker has to usually go into the system.
Would we already know, because Rainbow is expert, would we already know who, and because we got the FBI's information, who was it that they brought in? Like, do we already have that info laid out, or should we?
Let's see. Rainbow's skilled enough to call up the profile of the person known as a. We see Rainbow type it into a specific, like, Linux-style search engine, and she types in A1CAPWN, which and calls up a.
No, he said his name was Al Capone. It's an L, not a one. And Capone. Hold on, I'll get you. I'll write his name down, and I start writing name Al Capone's real name, like how it's actually spelled.
Yeah. And up comes the profile of the person that was playing against Holly Evans in that War Gatherer 20 or 200 XEX tournament.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
Yes, his name is Alan Goodwin. The information that comes up is Alan Goodwin is a hacker that got busted for stealing $500,000 in Burt coins, an online exchange and online currency, from an exchange called Wargden, formerly used to buy and sell miniatures of cards from the popular Wargatherer 20 XDX site or game. There were millions of it that went missing and were never recovered. He's suspected to be involved in DDoS attacks and exploiting unsecured cable boxes specifically. He was arrested and appears to have made a deal with the FBI to help defeat botnets. There's a lot of shit talked about him online about how he turned traitor, about how people are just jealous that, like, even though he got caught, they would do the same thing, and then other people just talking general trash about random stuff. He served 1 full month in jail and then was sentenced to 3 years in FBI custody. And there are a number of, like, people, and it turned into protective custody very quickly because some of the people that lost money on that site were not too legitimate. we'll say.
Interesting. All right. So we got this Alan Goodwin. He's a thief. Stolen a bunch of things. Easy enough. Easy enough. What's our way in? I mean,
It also looks like he's due to be released in the next couple of weeks.
Released as in
Fulfill his protective custody orders, and yeah.
Someone like that. Now tell me, Rainbow, someone like that with that good of skills like yours, they could disappear pretty quick, can't they? If he gets out of protective custody, that might be it. We might not be able to find him again.
That's true. He could.
You know, that's pretty likely.
Another likelihood is that he gets hired by some people.
Right.
The
But-
thing, well, the thing is, if he's serious about going legit, he could go private real fast.
Also bad. Also bad. We know he ain't got good morals, so we got to catch him before he gets released in a couple of weeks by the FBI. So I'm thinking this, right? We give a cat virus to another hospital. The FBI brings him out. We relinquish him from the FBI. That's where my plan stops. I didn't think too far ahead. I was thinking we just kind of, get to the kidnapping, and if that went all right, we'd, figure the rest out as we go. Fly by the seat of our pants.
That's Napoleon's plan, isn't it? First
Yeah,
we show up, then we see what happens.
Yeah, but he sucked at it. He didn't do
This
too
time
good.
it'll work.
This time it'll work. This time I think we got it.
As long as they don't attack Russia in the winter, it's fine.
Does he have any friends, any accomplices, or anybody that he worked with?
The social media footprint.
He has no social media footprint for the last 3 years because he's been under restrictive FBI protection that anyone would be aware of. You don't know if he's circumvented it or not, but you don't exactly know where he is at the moment without looking into the agents a little bit. So you could probably track down his safe house through the actions of the agents.
Okay.
That's
So we know where
possible. There's also his acquaintance. I won't speculate on exactly how close they were, but in the whole Bitcoin thing, his partner, Marissa.
Well, they weren't partners. Nothing was ever proven that Marissa was involved with anything about the theft other than they were acquainted.
Wow.
But yeah,
I
I'll
just assumed he meant, like partners.
Did she stand to gain from it?
let's see. Rainbow pulls up an article on Marissa Molman-Henneman.
That's a shame.
Oh man.
Let's see. It's a profile of it's a Forbes profile from a couple of years ago about Wargden. Let's see. It was an exchange of cards. She started using her trust fund and was one of the first adopters of Birchcoin, the digital currency. And it quickly became the site became a hub, and investors flooded in. And then pulls up another article talking about the thefts and that she claims to have been bankrupted by the thefts and cannot pay went into not exactly Chapter 11, but kind of bankruptcy.
So she's supposed to be bankrupt. What's her house look like?
Well,
Where she live?
Is that the theme of this episode?
what?
What's her house look like?
That's one of the themes.
That's everybody's house.
She lives in Philly in a area that used to be not great, but is quickly becoming gentrified. So like there's certain parts of Fishtown that are kind of like that, I think.
Woo, fish fingers.
Yeah, parts of
Finally
Fishtown.
up and came.
Yeah. And lives in like a very nice apartment complex in what used to be a tenement home, but was knocked down and, quote unquote revitalized. Let's see. The funds frozen by the theft could more. And here's the thing: that because it was a Burt coin, all the funds were frozen, and Burt coin exploded in popularity. And the amount of Burt coin currently frozen could more than pay back the investors of the original debts. And if the bankruptcy is finalized, no one will have profited more than Marissa, Mulm, and Henning.
Bam.
Because the money would come right back. Like, those people would still get paid the amount they were due, but the interest on it would all go to Marissa.
That's pretty brilliant. So...
Oh, and also some suspected the site of being a couple more articles come up. Let's see. They expected, some people were saying the site was a fraud, saying it was basically a giant Ponzi scheme, and some saying it was money laundering. And then another one about a new club called The Vault in Philadelphia. And let's see. There was also a small article in a Warg magazine, a Warg fan magazine or blog, about Molman banned from tournament play after physical violence. And there's footage of like Marissa sitting with the cards playing, and like some big guy comes running in and starts just like yelling at her, threatening her about the money that went missing. And she decks him, and that was enough to get her banned from the tournament.
That doesn't seem fair. I mean, she's bad, but that doesn't seem very fair.
You get the feeling a lot of players... Well, Rainbow could explain that a lot of players probably did not care for someone who, lost or pretty much, it was a site for Warg players, and those players lost a lot of money as well.
All right. So this mole man and Al Capone worked together in order to work that deal. I'm gonna assume, right? I could pretty much safely assume that, being a.
There's no proof. There's no evidence.
But I mean, like, that's a little too.
And a lot of money went missing.
Right. Okay. So then I'm gonna go on a hunch and say that's what they was doing. So that might be our way in, because she might still be waiting for that payday. All she needs to do is wait for Al Capone to be cleared, right?
For him to have fulfilled his sentence, and then he will no longer be under protective custody. But you don't really, you haven't really dug into Marissa yet. Digging into Marissa would probably be harder than just a random search.
Yeah, he's a computer person. All right. So what do you think? I'm thinking that might be a way in. I still like the idea of kidnapping him. But
how long have you been waiting to kidnap somebody?
That's always
not just somebody. He kills. Burke said that he killed hospital people.
He didn't. He could have.
Then why'd you say it? So I think. But one step.
Shouldn't have filled your imagination like that. I apologize.
Hey, but we still got to.
However, I think you might be onto something with staging a ransomware attack, setting ourselves up in the hospital, and then following the FBI once they bring in Alan and does his thing, and then they leave.
All right. Yeah, I like that.
That's a start.
That takes care of one end.
I think I can get in to talk.
I think you're the only
Marissa.
one who can.
You need to talk to Marissa?
I might have an idea of how to get her to at least let me in the door.
All right. Now, with this Al Capone or this Alan, right? He's coming to fix the computers for the hospital that we infect, and we are trailing. We're going to trail the FBI back. That's what you want to do, Bert?
That's what I got.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Man.
And basically, what was the card? Meteor plant? Is that it?
It was Meteor Petal. Was
Meteor
the,
petal. There you go.
Let's see. Rainbow turns around and pulls up a card in her hands. The card is in a solid plastic that looks like it's screwed together and says 9.8 at the top. And it is a, what do they call that with comics and other things when they put in a plastic case so you can never read them again, but graded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a graded version of a card that says Meteor Petal, and it is the rarest card in all of Warg. War Gatherer, sorry.
All right, Eli and Burke just stare at him like, what? What is this?
It's real pretty, Rainbow. Did you make it yourself?
Isabel, meanwhile, is trying to resist the urge to grab it and run.
The card is worth about, I think the last one sold for $150,000 or a couple, maybe $100,000.
Oh. Why?
It's very rare.
About 1,000. Yeah. Oh wait, someone. Look, there's currently the same card sold for 27,000, and one went up for auction at 100,000.
Can I try to grab it? I want to see what if it's got like gold or some shit in it. Like, why is a card worth so much money? Do I roll anything for that?
Nope.
I just want to grab it. Okay, so I just grab it out of Rainbow's hand, and like I'm still blowing smoke everywhere. Like,
I was gonna say, Rainbow, his hands are just covered in tar.
They're not covered in tar.
It is in a case, but
It is in a case.
That's
but
not a yellow you find in nature.
She's
But then
freaking
you
out.
have to clean that case.
Isabel is going to
It's natural.
act gently and hand it to Rainbow.
Well, I don't. So
No.
So you're figuring she's gonna want that card. This mole man.
She plays the game. Anybody who plays the game wants this card.
Okay. All right. Well, we have ourselves an in for that. That's excellent. Okay. Did you? When'd you steal it?
Did you steal it, or do you want a flashback?
You know what? Yes, flashback.
Yeah.
I definitely
When did you
stole
steal it?
stole
Like, you
it.
didn't get that shit legit.
Or did you?
Or
as
did
a
you?
young girl opening a pack?
See, I feel like
Oh my God, that would've been-
because
Holy
what
shit.
was it? You said that in the thing, this card is like, or what was it? Like
It's a
there
Black
was-
Lotus, effectively. It's turn 1, gain 3 power. Turn 2, gain 6 power. Like, it's a crazy card that doesn't get printed anymore.
Yeah, how many did you say they originally printed in the chat? I don't remember.
I don't know. It was a rare printing it was super rare in the original set of War Gatherer, and was only printed in like the first 3 sets, at which point they phased it out because it was too good.
Okay. So, because rare cards, like expensive rare cards like that, like sometimes people, they brag about having them. In which case, I would imagine she's seen it on the. She probably has more than one, but they're probably not as good grade wise as this one.
Alpha, which was the first set we'll call Alpha, was only 1,000 of them were printed.
And knowing that when it first came out, nobody's gonna have just set this card aside. A lot of them probably either got lost or destroyed from the originals.
Someone's mom throws away their collection as punishment for failing trigonometry, and
Yo,
20 years later, that was $3,000 or $30,000 of cards. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the guy who spray painted it. Did you ever see that? He lined his wheel, the rim of his tires, with it, and he spray painted all the cards. It's because they were basically the backing, the cover. And he was like, "Yo, man, check out my new like Nissan tires." And they were like, "You fucking idiot!" Like, because it was in the picture. They were like, "Do you know what that is?" And he's like, "No, some like old Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh or something." And they brought it up, and we're like, "It's like $100,000, you dumbass!" It's like
Oh,
better
there it
than
is. Gyroon's $9,000 Magic the Gathering card trying to be funny.
9,000.
A Ford Escape enthusiast.
A Ford Okay, a Ford Escape enthusiast. what a niche group that is.
Jesus.
It's not a good car though.
I'm a Hyundai Sonata enthusiast. Like, why?
Yo, look, I won't lie. I am a Toyota Yaris enthusiast. I love my car.
My Hyundai Sonata is very reliable. It is a good car.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
Wait,
Anyway.
So wait, did we do the flashback? Did we get the?
Okay,
no, we didn't
I
get the flashback.
did.
Yeah, come on. Let's see. How do we get this?
Yeah,
started?
so it starts with her like trolling, and she sees this person bragging, and so she hacks his accounts. His data, follows it all the way back, so she can find out where he lives, and then she just goes steals it.
Give me a hacker intelligence.
All right, hacker intelligence.
How was Rainbow dressed in the past?
Oh, in the past. You know what? We'll set this back some years. She's definitely in the middle of her goth phase. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
All right, and Rainbow killed this role. Rainbow goes and basically, let's see, sets the guy's car alarm off while he's like playing with his buds. Just opens the back door, comes in, grabs the deck, and leaves. Is that good?
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
that works.
What do you tell Eli?
I don't think you need to actually say anything.
Oh,
Or
okay, you just don't want to say anything. Just walk away.
it's up to you if you want to say anything to Eli. Just move on.
Yeah, it's been a while.
One of your first ones, huh? I respect it. Well then, I guess let's get going. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go steal a hospital admin system.
I was gonna say let's go steal a hacker, but we're not gonna kidnap him yet. So let's go steal a hospital.
I suppose that's gonna take a hacker role, so I can set up the virus, so they can.
Well, yes. Let's do that.
Do you set it up remotely, or do we need to plug it into something?
I could probably give them a flash drive with a virus loaded onto it that they could just, and it would do things. But I'm assuming I'd have to roll to code a virus.
Give me a hacker, and they'll roll against you. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you basically feel the worst computer system at a hospital. It's like the janitorial maintenance system.
We're in a pretty shitty part of town.
Yeah, but it's not going to affect anyone's care. It's just going to mess up the ordering of toilet paper for a couple of days, which, to be honest, is a pretty big deal.
That's
In a hospital, yeah. That's
Actually, yeah, you would. It'll mess up the ordering of janitorial supplies. Like they'll just get crates of Kleenex instead of something important.
But it'll look scarier than this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What it looks like is enough to call the FBI because it's a system in a hospital going haywire. And yes, if toilet paper runs out at a hospital, that's bad.
Fair enough.
It's not as life threatening
You gotta
because
start using the bed sheets. Nobody wants that. First the socks, then the bed sheets. Bad. Eli's seen some things, man.
yeah. Do you want to do a flashback to Eli in
God.
prison? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, do we want to do a flashback? So he legit says, "Yeah, man, run out of toilet paper. You're gonna have to use, pages from a book, pillowcases. It gets bad." And then you flash to Eli reading a book.
It's the Count of Monte Cristo.
Reading a book, sitting on his cot, and you hear just everybody freaking out and yelling, and a guard walk by one of the other cells. And they're like, "Come on, man, this is ridiculous. This is disgusting. How am I supposed to live like this?" And he walks by me, looks at me, and is like, "Eli, what's going on? We haven't heard a peep out of you." Eli goes, "I'm all set, sir." It's like, And he lifts up. He opens his mattress where he has it cut, and it's just tons of toilet paper that he's sleeping on. And he's like, got it.
Did Eli stage a toilet paper coup?
Yeah, either to get back at somebody or to just fuck the whole place because somebody pissed
The
off.
question is, for commerce or revenge?
Yep.
A little bit of both.
That's what you're selling us.
You know what? To be perfectly honest, I can't even remember. All right, let's go. So I will, get in my van and I guess start heading over to the hospital. Do we have the virus?
Yes, you will have the virus successfully loaded up. You plug it into the hospital. The hospital calls the FBI.
Okay.
A couple of hours later, a black car pulls up, and the front passenger side and front driver's side get out, and one of them goes around and opens the rear passenger side, and a man, not exactly a round guy, roughly probably a little heavier than me, but not much. In a hoodie with like long pull strings, and the hoodie is like an expensive hoodie, like a Kanye branded hoodie or something.
Ah, yes, of course.
It is like fancy slouch clothes, basically stuff popularized by Mark Zuckerberg or stuff like that.
That man's wearing an ugly sweater.
Where are we in the hospital? Are we?
Yeah, where would you?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking we would because we just have to wait outside, right, for them to leave.
Well, we gotta
identify them first.
Yeah, we'll put Rainbow might be in the hospital like as an orderly or something.
I don't.
I could definitely
that
do
would
that.
be the.
Because Rainbow could ID him, yeah.
Yeah, just don't be seen by him. That's the only thing is we can't have you be seen by him because I feel like that's you have history with him.
Actually, give me a awareness. Oh, that's why that happened. Sorry, I messed something up. Give me an awareness thief, Rainbow. But you have a thing for this, right?
Oh, and
Every man.
for. Oh yes, that just makes sure that if they don't notice me, then they won't. If they see me again, they won't recognize me.
You don't have anything else for that?
My specialization is pickpocket.
Yeah, unless, well, we could, never mind. So you see him walking into the hospital. What he does is he reboots it, waits for it to boot back up, reboots it again, waits for it to boot back up, reboots it a third time, and then goes into the BIOS and types in a couple of code lines and hits enter, left shift enter, or some other random situation. And it resets the entire computer system back to exactly how it was before the virus appeared. But as let's see if he beats your hacker roll and recognizes your virus. No, he does not recognize that your 12, which was your hacker roll, was good enough for him to not recognize that you altered the virus to keep it controlled.
Wait, so does it look like the original virus that took the victim's computer?
Yes, this looks to be the Meerkat virus, the botnet that was going around a year ago. But it seems to have been altered recently.
Okay.
To become a ransomware that gets transmitted through an SMS system. So basically, any hospital with a messenger or company with a messenger could get hit with this and spread through every computer in the place, and then spread to contractors, etc. Because, yeah, this is a thing that happens. Simple messenger services at a bank, I believe, or at banking in general, were recently penetrated, and millions of dollars were stolen, I think, just because someone had banking codes for international trades. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just writing some stuff down. All right.
Being a cat. There's
Bert.
not a cat. There's just a tail that floats around my house. Yeah.
I'm sorry if you didn't immediately identify that as the tail. It was just some frightening tentacle that just shot up.
Some orange and white striped tentacle.
Welcome to my home. Burke, are you able to ID the FBI?
Yes.
Yeah. They look like the blandest human beings I've ever seen.
It is a black woman and a white man. Both look to be middle-aged. Not middle-aged, but middle-aged. This would be a not. They wouldn't put someone like if you were aging out of like run chase the bad guys every day.
Nobody here is a physical threat in any sense.
Yeah, they're trained, but they're not like.
You don't
Sexy
put
assassins.
like your hard bodies on a guy that is wearing, I'm supposing, some kind of gold lame hoodie.
Yeah, maybe like a younger Niecy Nash. I don't know. For Shaniqua Delmark, and Rory would be incredibly tall, noticeably tall, skinny white guy.
Unnaturally tall.
Yes.
Oh,
So Jonah
He's-
from Beep.
Yes, it would be Jonah from Beep, and I'm trying to think of who would be a young Niecy Nash now. Like, I don't know.
I never think of Niecy Nash as being all that old.
True. So yeah, we'll just say it's
I
Niecy
think
Nash.
she'd be the senior agent.
She would, yeah.
who is Niecy Nash?
Have you ever seen Reno 911?
Yes.
She was the black deputy, female. Trying to remember
That
other
one?
things about her character, like her name, but she was hilarious.
The fat one with the giant butt?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she was awesome. Yes.
I wouldn't call her fat, but yeah.
I was going to say the only black deputy on black
Well, no, there is
female
not.
deputy on the show.
There was the guy.
Yeah, he's very
That's
good.
why I added female.
He's in. What is he in now? I forgot.
Cedric Yarborough.
Yes, he's great.
Cedric here. I can never
I don't
remember.
know. It's just I watched Black Dynamite last weekend, and now all I can hear is, "But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community."
Is he in that?
That's all. That's his only line, but
Sell drugs.
It is a weird movie.
it's maybe the greatest movie of all time.
All right. So
Anyway,
the idea is let's follow the FBI.
Yes. So, Eli is all prepped to tail their car.
Yep.
Let's
Do I
see.
need to roll for this?
wait for me. I'm gonna. We're taking the van.
Yes.
Oof, okay.
Where are we taking?
Can I
the
give
14?
him? If
But you just
need
rolled a
be-
4, right?
I generated 2 opportunities
Hey.
because they after the car is spotted, he enters the thing. They're standing, like, one of them's with the car, one of them's outside the janitor's office where he entered the computer stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. And generates some opportunities for you guys. Can anyone exploit them right now? I don't think anyone could.
I only have 2 talents, and they're usually just give stuff to other people. Wait.
My opportunities
if you
involve
roll-
punching.
Yeah, this is if you roll a complication die, not a. And I have to use a plot point. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do
I haven't complicated your lives yet.
So, do I roll
All
a?
right, so we hop in the back of the van. We go. That's them. And
Yes. However, Rainbow immediately goes back to that computer that he was on as the van drives off and sees that a messenger window is not open, but like the messenger program is still running. And it's the basic hospital messenger program is still running.
Okay. Is there like anything if I like?
It
open
looks like
up?
it's been cleared to a suspicious extent.
Okay.
But yes, you guys were going to follow the van, I believe. So give me a mastermind alertness. And I believe driving is your specialty.
and my van is an asset, but I don't think I need to do that, right?
Probably not unless you roll a bunch of crap. which is possible. So let's see
Alright.
those rolls.
Hang on to that.
No, put them all in there. Put them all in there.
It's alertness and what?
Alertness, mastermind, and your specialty and your vet.
All right, that's 2d10 first of all for alertness and mastermind. Bam. And then my driving. Hold on, my driving. Gary, that's a 6.
Let's see. You rolled a 14 over their 4, so
And then I got a 2. And
yeah,
then,
the 2 doesn't matter.
I don't want to use my asset now if I can use it later, right?
It does. You can use an asset repeatedly, I believe.
Oh, okay.
You can use an asset repeatedly.
Let's do it.
There's
Oh,
your complication.
my plot point.
So you do generate a complication.
Okay.
Basically, they are so easy to follow. Like they stop at a Dunkin' Donuts for like a meal and go inside, and like it shows Eli like doing things in a car to like follow a tail that would be very sneaky, like changing lanes at the weird, and they're just not trying to evade you whatsoever.
Cool. Is Burke in the car with me?
Yes.
So it's just us, like. I'll be honest with you. I thought this was going to be more exciting than this.
Did we overthink this?
Yeah, I think so. I forgot that FBI basically nowadays are just government workers. You want to go to Dunkin' Donuts?
Like they're sitting in there and you guys are in the drive-thru.
You want to get a drink?
Honestly, I do, and this is very frustrating.
I get like a massive amount of coffee, like an ungodly amount of coffee to go with my cigarettes.
Munchkins for the van.
All right, so we get our product placement money for the episode.
It's a wonderful restaurant.
First of all, we got the car tags,
We got
and
one.
then you guys went to a brand name restaurant, and so we're just raking in that sponsorship.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, television, which we aren't on.
Yeah.
So you guys follow them back to a very nice. Let's see. Would you be in Philly?
I thought we were.
Sure.
Yeah, you are in Philly. Let's just say this is all happening in Philly. So it's a very nice uptown apartment. I'm actually blanking on the list of all the Philly neighborhoods right now.
Doesn't matter.
Manayunk. He's in Manayunk. The safe house is in Manayunk.
You made that up.
No, I did not. Urban experience, small town charm. Manayunk, Philadelphia.
No parking.
Yeah, it sucks for parking. Got a very nice yarn store. But yeah.
All right.
Fine breweries.
Well, guys, we located where he's staying at. Some nice place in some made-up town. So if we need to get in there at some point, we can. The FBI don't look like the sharpest tools in the bunch. So I'm sure Bert can run in and, I don't know, you kill him, right? Do whatever you gotta do. And then we'll get him. Just
Honestly, I'm pretty sure if I just go, ah, they'll fall.
probably die, yeah. Probably, like, run away.
Like scare goats?
So next, I think you want to try to sell Mole Man this card. I think that's a perfect opportunity for Isabel. Like, Isabel could pretend to be you on the, you know what I mean? Like,
That's right. You'd
you could
have
actually
to,
hand it off and
like,
actually
Cyrano
sell it.
her.
Yeah, you could actually start, like, talking to this person and maybe try to convince them that, like, I don't know, convince them to turn against Al Capone in some way. You know what I mean? Like think, how'd you get that card? Illegally, right?
Right.
What else could you get illegally for them? Make it worth their while.
So I guess if we're gonna send in Isabel to do the talking, which is probably better than sending in
Look, you're gonna know exactly what to say. So you stay.
Well, I'm saying it.
right.
Yeah,
Earpiece and
Cyrano
stuff. That's-
her.
Isabel,
that's what I was wondering though, is how much would Isabel know and how much would I have to coach her on?
she doesn't need to. So Isabel,
Just fill in the blanks when she goes,
yeah, you go ahead and give all the made up shit that these cards, why these cards are worth anything, right? It's all made up, I assume.
Value is all
made up,
trans.
made up.
Go ahead,
What?
go ahead and get it all to her, and she can go ahead and take that information and mold it into the beautiful word art that she does. And while I
That's
think
lovely.
that's a winning combination, right?
It's our most poetic scheme yet.
Between your knowledge and her skills, to be able to sell this woman on just about anything. So I'm thinking first we sell her on the card. That's the bit that she bites, and then once we got her biting, we reel her in and start talking real business with her. Because if she's in the business of making money, and if she has this unhealthy obsession with these cards and these silly games,
Unhealthy.
then I think what
Unhealthy.
we could do is exploit that. Well, yeah. Why isn't she? Why isn't
All he knows about this game is a Jack Chick tract.
Come on.
she can do anything with her time? She can
Hold
go
on.
for a walk. She can go for a hike. She can go bowling.
You could do a lot of things with your lungs, and yet you smoke. So who's
You
unhealthy?
can go
here?
bowling.
My doctor says I'm in perfect health.
Your doctor's lying to you.
Your doctor's not a doctor. Your doctor is a grifter who's been conning you for 20 years.
I do pay him a
Did
lot.
you not know that?
Doctor's just been Isabel in a wig
In
this
the
whole time.
the whole time. He's gonna die. Wow. I have no idea what any of this means, but it's all like splotchy.
all these splotch marks mean, yeah.
He had to walk on a treadmill and he passed out after like 15 seconds. Woke up, had no idea where he was, asked for a cigarette. He's gonna die.
They just moved all the clocks forward. Like, you've been going an hour, man.
I am good. Damn. So yeah, I think that's probably a good plan, right? Like you two go in there, pit maneuver her, and then if we could try to sell her, but think, what could we?
Can we lure her in with a second best card and then go,
Well, or
you're
we
into this
pretend.
one?
Let's say a complete set of the ruby seeds or the gemstone seeds.
Something that I assume there's something better than this one, right? Than this card right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't.
Not.
No, but there is something nearly as good called the gemstone seeds, which are different shaped seeds of different colors that produce different sorts of power for the game.
Right.
Maybe try to hook her on this one and then go, well, if you're real serious, oh, never mind. You wouldn't be interested in the greatest card in the world.
Maybe
But,
you should try to sell her on the ruby
flyer.
seeds and then hook her with the
That's
the
not
petal.
a bad idea. Yeah, save the real juicy morsel for the end.
Because
How are we going to make this work to our advantage? For example, we're going to sell it to her, right? But we need something in return. You have to go in there, but you aren't on the level, essentially. The character that you're going to play is you're going in there as a hacker or a thief, on the down low. And basically say, like, look, I can get this card, but I need X, Y, and Z. And X, Y, and Z needs to lead us unequivocally to the shiny jacket wearing man.
I mean, I guess in case we could also, if we can get her hooked with the ruby seeds, we could also then basically, if we can play her to say we're trading the meteor petal for Al Capone as well.
It might be a little harder, but
Well,
I don't know if she
I
would
think
take
it
all
might be
that
a little
money.
bit smoother than just bursting into a safe house, knocking down two middle-aged agents,
Wait a minute, there was a lot of
and
money.
grabbing some nerd.
Wait, hold on. There was a lot of money missing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we find the money was Al Capone's, or the money was hers. The money was hers. I can't remember.
We don't know because the money's missing, but it might be
Okay.
her.
It was stolen from her company, though, correct?
Yes.
All right, and Al Capone stole it. and we assume that maybe it's they were working in cahoots. So whatever. If we can somehow, got it. You have her. You go to sell it the first seeds, right? We figure out where she's hiding that money because you make it a tasty sum, but she's not. It's going to be hard for her to resist it. Not an outlandish amount, but just enough that she'd have to go somewhere to pull the money out. She might lead us to where this money is. Al Capone sure probably doesn't have it hidden away. He probably needs somebody to manage it or watch over it. And if they were in cahoots, who would that be?
Well, okay, here's the thing Rainbow would know, but that Eli clearly wouldn't. The way Bitcoin is stored is as codes in a digital wallet. And so no one can find it, meaning no one knows where these codes currently are being held, which means they are probably on some server somewhere that is not connected.
Right. So all we need to do is find out what safety deposit box she has all these coins in. Bam. We got her.
Yeah, something like that.
I will say,
It's millions of coins.
It's millions. Since it's millions of coins, my truck can only handle so much, and I don't know if you're all aware, but coins weigh more than dollars. So we're gonna have to assess the weight. Burke, I might need your help with that. We might have to do a little bit of work on my van, figure out how to distribute.
You have
weight.
no idea what I do you?
Hold on. I know you play on the Facebook and the YouTube. And I know that you doodle on there, and you make sure that you steal people's information. It's a lot faster than just stealing shit out of their house, so I appreciate that. But I think it'll lead us to where she's got this money probably tucked away, or could be even buried somewhere.
Well,
Rainbow, ignoring literally everything he's just said for the last 5 minutes, do you think this is something you can handle?
yes. I think where he is right on the fact that getting her to go for the money could show us where the codes are being
coordinate
stored.
with Isabel, because you can't be seen in this this circle. They know you, right?
No, we need to keep you as far away from this as possible. If someone links it back to you, then they could target you, and I don't want that to happen. Or we can use you as a secret weapon at the end. Either way, I don't want you to be seen as much as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Or you could wear like a big fake nose or something. I mean, that's pretty cool. You can do that.
Let's avoid the Mission Impossible masks, if at all possible.
Which, in this case, I think then Rainbow would have picked out Isabel's outfit. So she's not in her usual super glamorous stuff.
So Isabel comes out dressed to the nine with like this beautiful shit, and then you're like, no.
No. We're going 1998 hat.
Like look at these montages in movies where like the person comes out and poses and they're like, next. Like in Dumb and Dumber, where he keeps coming out in the different outfits and he's like, no, next one.
Exactly.
Oh, what was it? What was the name of that one where they used Wipeout XL to hack things? Was it just called Hackers?
Hackers, possibly.
One of the
1995
greatest
movie.
movies of all time.
Apparently it holds up, I hear.
It's pretty good.
So if you want to...
I mean, it's all just techno gobbledygook, so it makes as much sense as anything anybody ever said on 24.
True. Oh boy, that's a photo.
I mean, that's where he's hacking the Gibson came from.
Oh god, there's a lot of people you'd recognize in that movie.
Yeah.
Hacker.
Young Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I think it was like her first role, or first big role. But yeah,
Johnny Lee Miller.
Matthew Lillard in
Matthew
Pigtails.
Lillard.
In Pigtails, okay.
I can't believe you've never seen this.
I have, I've just forgotten it.
I go back to it like every 5 years. And yeah, it gets weirder every 5 years.
Alright, so, do you guys want to explain how Isabel ends up dressed? Or...
It's definitely a beanie. And... Oh, you know what? It's definitely a hoodie, like a warg hoodie with like some kind of like turtle creature on it, and it's like an obnoxious green, like lime green color.
Does she have pins with like memes on them or something? I don't know if you can get memes on a pin, but
You know what? It'd be pins that are like sort of like the mana symbols for Magic the Gathering, but whatever Warg uses.
The various power colors.
Yes.
yes.
There we go. Oh, complete with the I was gonna call them bracers, but they're wrist warmers.
Yeah.
Complete with that. Totally.
I'm wearing a brace.
My
Yes.
hands got too warm for my gloves. So.
My wrist's messed up.
Anyway, she looks
Okay,
ridiculous.
so yes, she goes in. She
you're
looks.
definitely ready
Comes
to
out
act.
just like
She might be hitting it a little too on the nose. But yes, you go into this. You know that Marissa would be in the club this time of day. Oh, sorry. You also probably ran the numbers. The club isn't profitable and probably won't be for a couple of years, and her trust fund was mostly taken out by her investment in the Wargden website. So Marissa's not doing terrible, doing well, but does look a little thin. House
Can I
rich.
just ask real quick, what time of day are we at here? This is like
What time would you like to approach, to be honest?
up to you, Michi.
You're
So
the
the
one
club-
with the club knowledge, so.
yeah. You're this is your prey now that you're hunting. So like,
God, it's basically, I just realized it's basically Shampoo. I don't know if any of you know the club Shampoo. All right, there was a club in Philly called Shampoo that was a very scene-specific club.
did it have
Does not
bubbles?
exist anymore?
I think it's gone. It had like a goth night. I think Pink as a person used to hang out there.
Not the color. The color didn't hang out there.
Well, the color hanged out there. 2004 Philadelphia nightlife. Finally called it quits in 2013.
Well, I feel a little old now.
Yeah, there was a Bubbles night.
Yeah.
And like attractive people, but there were like scene nights specifically.
Isn't that like the big hair?
No, like
I thought
different,
that was-
like hardcore scene night, and then
Oh,
like
different
a
scene.
raver night.
I thought you meant scene as in the style, which came out a little after I left school. Like scene kids.
Well, scene kids is a
The big hair, exactly. They're like glam rock, but now they called it scene kids because it came back.
yeah, that'd be it
Nope,
actually.
nonsense.
That was yeah,
Thing
kind
is-
of like a older version of before these scene kids were a thing.
Gotcha.
Oh Google, oh these people.
Gotcha.
Right now,
God, sorry, it's like Avril Lavigne was their inspiration, and they thought she was a rebel.
Get out of that hole, Myers. We gotta get you out of that hole.
Scene kid.
Let me just close that. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Oh my god.
Scene kids dating skater boys.
No, get out of the hole.
With the tie.
Youths!
They're all terrible.
Oh,
They're all on my lawn. All right.
so time of day.
What time of day would you like to approach? What's your approach like?
Oh.
Because you know Marissa spends a lot of time there. Marissa's got a number of facial piercings, a number of tattoos. She's got a full sleeve, mostly with like the same symbols from the game on one arm.
So have we gotten in touch with her to see if she is interested in these cards yet or not?
No, you would be making the initial.
We
First
should
time.
probably do it online first, where she's more comfortable, and then you should probably kick up, and at the end, it could be that we set up the buy, or at least the discussion, because this is somebody who's probably more comfortable online, correct? She's got that kind of vibe. I mean, if not, then let's go. Let's roll with it.
They own a club that they enjoy spending time at.
All right, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it live.
As you approach the club, it is a former, a closed down bank vault. And records show that it was before it was a bank, like a 1910 bank with the giant pillars out front. And it closed down. And at some point it was a CVS briefly, but that went out of business very quickly. There are a number of banks that became CVS's and Rite Aids. I think Walgreens specifically keeps going into them. But yeah, and then eventually...
Does Eli recognize this?
Eli might recognize this bank. Does Eli want to
I was
recognize
just
this
a
bank?
boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm probably dropping her off in the van, you know?
Yeah.
Like, all
Like,
right,
around the
have
corner.
fun. Have fun at school. And then, you know what I mean? Have fun taking down your prey.
I can imagine the conversation goes, no, drop me here. No, I can drop you right at the door.
Drop you right at the door. Like, no,
No.
idiot,
No.
we're in a van. all right. Have
God, you're ruining crime.
So I drive. Yeah, could I recognize this?
Sure. You can recognize this bank.
What was it?
It was a bank.
Was it
Let's-
a bank?
It was a good bank.
It was
But it's Ricky Bank.
Citizens First was actually a bank. Let's see, so many generic banking names, actually banks.
I mean, you don't have to name it, but like,
It
was it one
really
that
does not matter.
did I know what it was as a bank? Like, did I know it as a bank?
Did you?
Okay, sure, yeah. So
Yes.
if we're gonna do it, yeah, let's
Then
definitely.
20 years ago, this was a bank that you knew.
Son of a
First
bitch.
Eagle Trust.
First Eagle Trust is great.
Probably actually a bank.
It's at least parts of 3 banks I can think of. So
Can't. I can't get it.
First Eagle Investment Management is a thing, but not First Eagle Trust.
All right.
Phew.
Yeah. That way we won't get a defamation suit.
Well,
But yeah, do you want to flash back?
oh, can I already?
Do you
have
want to
that?
flash back to something not dire? A success, maybe?
What do you mean?
Like, flashback to a time everything went well inside of that bank?
Sure. Okay. Then I look at the bank, just sort of, he's kind of in awe as he's driving past it, just like, wait a minute. As he sees all the people, haha, like outside, like getting
There's like a line.
there's like a line to get in, and he's like, what? And then it flashes to that during the day. And,
These good times will never end.
a couple of people, there's no line. It's a bank. It's 20 years earlier, and a couple of people walk up. Let's see. 4 people walk up in suits, 3 men and a woman walk in, and they're holding bags. And as they walk up, they pull masks over their faces, and they go in. And the bank, as soon as the doors shut, boom, they open back up again, and they're all running out. And a man jumps into a van. Everybody else piles in, and he holds ass looking behind him at the bank, and he pulls off the mask, and it's a much younger Eli, and he's like, "Woo!" and just driving as the rest of the people are like counting the money with like shotguns and stuff in their hand.
All right, give me a mastermind. Let's go
Am I rolling?
vitality. Give me a mastermind vitality.
All right, so that's
Him?
that's
Yes.
1d10, and then vitality. Oh dear, what do I have for that? 6, not a lot.
7. So you rolled a 7 over 5. So you successfully get away with this heist.
Oh, I'm rolling for what happened back
Yes,
then.
for the heist.
Yeah.
So you have that in your past as a successful heist.
I robbed this place. Son of a bitch.
And I just pat his knee and go, sure you did.
Listen, I'm not that old.
Okay, Grandpa.
You snotty little brat fuck. I'm not
I
that
know,
old.
it
All right.
looks like a lot of banks.
So Isabel is quickly let into the club. There's a line. Isabel just walks up to the bouncer, who just moves the thing. Is anyone with Isabel as Isabel approaches the club?
Burke, should you be with Isabel just in case?
I can go as backup, sure. I
Okay.
do not anticipate a threat, but
Burke is also dressed.
am I okay?
Yes. How is Burke dressed, please?
We're never gonna
I
get to the
want-
actual scenes.
I
We're
want
just
the
gonna have
pink
too much fun
anime wig.
getting there. Sorry, what was that?
I want the pink anime wig.
Oh, you have a pink anime
You
wig.
know what? Yes.
Did Burke
And,
choose
and,
it?
and a nylon jacket. I don't understand how any of it works. There's straps that keep.
Jenko jeans.
It's not conducive to fighting at all. It's so bizarre.
His pants are huge.
Oh, like rave pants? You're
Yeah,
rave
yeah.
pants.
Ray pants and giant alien sunglasses.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so
I assume this is what you wear to the club.
these two young women get let in immediately, and you go right in. It's easy to see that there's a dance floor. There is a band playing. There is a upper area with seating. There is an even upper area with what looks to be like the VIP seating with like bottle service and whatnot. Yeah.
Can we go up there?
Yeah, and you definitely quickly spot.
After
We
the
do one of
show.
those leverage zoom ins on the mole man, being a little older, with I described before the sleeve of tattoos in a very nice dress. It looks like the $1,000 version of a scene kid outfit.
I can't even. My mind is
Yeah,
boggled.
no,
That's
I can't even comprehend it, and nor do I want to. Stop it, Myers. Stop going down the hole. I heard you click your mouse.
it's a scene kid outfit. Like
$1,000 scene kid outfit.
all right, show us.
no, I'm not gonna. I didn't Google it yet.
It's the exact same. It's just all the clothes are dipped in gold. Very hard to walk in, but very.
Actually, would it be a little like a female? What's it called? Ed Hardy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it'd be
such a thing
verging on
exists.
Ed Hardy.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Hold on, I need to roll the dice. If I type in /1d4 into roll 20, you'd think it'd know what I meant. Okay. All right. So you guys can easily get up to the VIP area as people with money. And basically you're in like the next booth over. What's your approach?
So Isabel like brought in like a backpack,
Which was thoroughly searched.
oh, of course. But she takes out a binder and kind of plops it on the table.
Oh, so you know these people. Okay.
Like, no, just sitting with Burke and like pulls out the binder and just starts loudly talking about like, well, this card, is worth about this much, da 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 da, like trying to negotiate a deal.
Okay.
With Burke. Gotcha.
So it's a setup. Burke is your attempted buyer.
Gotcha.
All right.
God.
Give me a.
Cool.
All right. Give me a
God.
grifter.
So cool.
Grifter intelligence for Isabel.
Goodbye.
Okay, so Isabel just totally messes the lingo badly. Just boinks it. Yeah. Ooh. And let's see. Isabel just totally blows it. And let's see, Marissa is overhearing everything and just like looks over and is like, excuse me? Did you just say that you've got an opal seed?
Ooh,
Rainbow.
can we change the grift?
There's no such thing as an opal seed.
Do not
Act like you
opal seed-
don't know
no,
what you're
no,
talking
no,
about and that
no.
she thinks she can
No.
You
trick
can't say to this because Burke's right there. And she's like,
So Isabel just kind of shoots her a dirty look and just kind of like basically is trying to convey with body language, dude, don't fuck up my con.
let's see, I don't think she's
Clever.
gonna be like, she's gonna look over at Burke. Let me roll a different die.
So pretend that you're doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
Clever.
Okay. All right. Let's see. She looks over at Burke and like, let's just say a little bit of a starry look comes in her eyes when she looks over at Burke. And is like, honey, she's trying to get one over on you.
Oh.
and I go,
can run with it, or we.
I just go. Are you trying to screw me? I'm still
Not
head
anymore, but
Out of Burke's mouth.
Cut over to the van.
Pink wig is
Influencing.
digging into my head.
This is the one movie that that Burke has seen is Hackers.
He's going for it.
Surprisingly involved.
And she's like, whose binder is that?
it's mine.
I was like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, we can go one of two ways right now. You could either pretend that you were conning him and that you were pretending to not know her, or you could back up and say, basically, we could run with the whole ideal that you are working for someone and you are the middleman.
If we go with the working with somebody, drop the name Holly Evans.
Okay, so Isabel just kind of sits back and sighs and goes, "Look, these aren't my cards. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. My friend Holly Evans asked me to try to sell some of these."
Her eyebrows lifted this. Is Holly here?
No, Holly doesn't get out much anymore. She's just kind of keeps to herself.
Don't forget to feed her, some info, Rainbow. Give Isabel things to work with, things to mold.
Yeah, none of those cards are going to be real. Holly would never let them out of her sight.
Flip to the 4th page. Make sure she sees the ruby seeds.
Flips over to the 4th page. I mean, I don't know the difference between Holly wanted me to look through things, and I think they're pretty.
I tap on it and go, "Is that a ruby seed?"
Give me a hacker or I need from Isabel let's say alertness alertness grifter.
Oh, good, because that was gonna go bad.
Let's see, 3-6. Oh, it's not going well for you anyway.
Throw another thing at it.
Wait.
Do you have anything else you want to throw at it?
Archangel.
I was actually about to say I can throw one of my 2 plot points in there to give her another die.
Do you? Or do you want to keep rolling with it?
I mean, I also can throw in cat and mouse. It's kind of.
Oh, you like the back and forth. That's right.
Yeah.
If you want to, is that a talent or a distinction?
It's a distinction.
Okay. So you want to throw it in there as a D8 distinction?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you can do that. Go ahead. So add a D8. Ooh, still not good. So basically, you two start going back and forth, and she's like, when was the last time you even saw Holly? Like, did Holly sell these to you?
Rainbow. Give her some. They're asking when's the last time she even saw you.
Yeah, she's basically asking if Holly conned Isabel.
By giving her, fake cards.
Yeah. She's like, she's like, yeah, she's not even talking about the binder right now, but she has definitely seen the binder. And she is very there goes, and everyone shifted, but hey.
Yep.
Hey,
I
kept the
will
window open, so that's good.
fix that.
Hey.
Yeah, everybody keep doing what they're doing.
Yes.
First, make sure that you stay nearby just in case.
I'm still in the booth as far as I can
Yeah,
tell.
the three
so
of
I'm just like, I need a drink.
Oh, God.
And a waiter quickly comes up with a drink. There is security around as well on this level.
Yeah,
And
that's
she's
what I was worried about.
She's looking over at security.
Yeah.
Okay, tell her you seen me Thursday at the tournament.
Yeah, Holly was at the tournament Thursday.
I mean, those tournaments are so over. They're just so. I hate those tournaments now.
Say something about her being jealous because she's banned.
I mean, honestly, you're probably just mad because you're banned.
Listen, you should take your BS cards and go. And stop trying to con this poor woman.
Isabel takes out her phone, which is a burner phone that is not her actual phone.
Obviously, yes.
And just pulls up a picture of the meteor petal and is like, Holly showed me this.
Of course Holly showed you that.
She's trying to sell it.
I'm sorry, what are your names? What's your name? She says to you. She doesn't say anything to Burke about it.
My name's Evelyn.
Evelyn. It's a very interesting thing you just said, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Is there any, she tell you what she's going to offer for it? What she wants for it?
Rainbow, throw down a number. Make it big. I'll make it pretty big.
Wait.
Tell her there's already a bid for 10,000.
She said there was already a bid for 10,000.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Now, would you excuse us? I'm sorry, what was your name, miss? And she looks over at Burke.
Miranda.
Miranda, I'll tell you what, I'll give you backstage. I can have you go backstage if you'd like to meet the band. And I can meet you down there later, maybe.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this band sucks, but it sounds fun.
Cool.
I'm going so I can check out security, but
Yes.
I am fully invested in this character.
Get
Give me a, I love that it's a bad grifter, but
Yeah.
give me
But it's working. It's working.
It is working. It's working because it's bad, and I love it. Give me a grifter willpower.
Turns out
Oh boy.
turns out that's what she's into.
Alright.
People.
So her roll.
Yep.
Oh, you generate a complication,
And
and
8.
a 3. So ones when they're part of your numbers cannot be added. So you have a total of 3. Marissa has a total of 0 because she rolled 2 ones. So she is into you and totally buying it.
And you get a plot point.
And you get a plot point.
Alright.
That's amazing.
Marissa is into it. But the complication is Marissa is into it.
Maybe 2 into it.
It's okay. I've never been in a situation I couldn't sleep or hold my way out of.
If you spell that a little differently, it's a
Yeah.
very
Sleep or hold your way out. That's actually what I thought at first, too. I remember those.
I have a lot of tools at my disposal, alright?
So anyway, moving right along.
So,
Yes. So she dismisses Miranda, and is like, "Listen, Evelyn. We now me and Holly know each other from the old days, and does she? I don't know that she'd enjoy seeing me. So you're the middleman, right?
Yeah.
Do you exactly have to tell her who you're dealing with? Or does she not care?
I don't think she cares. She hasn't asked in for any of the other buyers' information.
long as the money's good.
As long as the money's good.
So say a bit of 15.
$? No, I'm kidding. That's bullshit.
Oh, I just broke my pencil. Goddamn.
Rainbow, is there any way that you could set up some sort of bidding war online?
Wait, but when we're looking for information.
Okay, so we'll just pause that right there.
Yeah, I kind of got lost. Where?
And we will go to Burke goes down backstage. Give me a... Is Burke good at Mastermind?
Yeah. That's,
All right, give me a Mastermind awareness from Burke.
okay, that is an 8. And alertness is also an 8.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, you generate a complication. And you got a total of 6. Let me see what security rolls. Security rolls an 8. All right, so you go down back to the backstage, and you were handed a pass, and it's the right color to get back down there. But you quickly see that security backstage is heavier than... You actually wouldn't know what backstage security is like. So, yeah, because Burke is famously miscultured. I don't know.
Sure, but I would know what, like,
Oh,
basic
that's
security in a
If
club.
there's anything that you probably would know, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't stick around for the band. I would go to see the security layout.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so you're down there, and you see that security around the band is okay, but security down in general seems a little tighter than you expected. Like, this place is pretty well protected and has expensive guards. Basically has its own private security that it is hired out from, let's say a security firm that you have heard of. Maybe Pegasus. Pegasus Security.
Wait a minute.
There's your complication.
Do you tell us any of this?
I immediately just, stick my finger under my wig and twirl around and go, guys, we got a problem.
Oh, the wig is basically one solid piece. It's, by the way, the...
So
yeah.
I just got
Big plastic anime hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
I turn around and I go, guys, we got a... Well, I guess we've got a complication.
Hey, wait a second.
This would be a commercial break in the show. It's 10. All right, so
Yeah, so it's a good time for a break.
take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Feel free to get up and stretch and take care of yourselves, and we'll be back.
All right.
Wahoo.
All right, we're out.
Yay!
Right.
Oh my god.
I'll be right back. Oh, Christ. We're still alive.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, everyone. Hey, so you didn't... Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on, so he probably can't hear me.
Gee.
Well, you never sent us to break.
Oh, jeez.
I do want to be done by 11.
Now.
Go live.
We're back.
Hello, everybody. We're officially back now. Sorry for the weirdness.
I'm sorry, I'm looking up sexy Kurt Russell Santa.
Don't apologize for the
Just give me
game.
a second.
True. Yeah, sexy Kurt Russell is not here. But
Not
sexy
sponsored.
Kurt Russell like guy is bodyguarding this door. And this door is not an exit or an entrance.
I'll be goddamn, there he is. Sexy Santa Claus, Kurt Russell.
Oh, good.
Sorry, we'll get there in a second.
I'm sorry.
It's a fun movie.
Carry
All right.
on, I apologize.
Okay, go on.
Okay, we're good. All right. So you see the Pegasus security in front of this door, and this door is not a fire exit. It is not an exit. There is no signage on this door.
Well, alrighty then.
I'm still twirling with the music, but every twirl around, I give like just the eyeball
Can you,
to what
can you,
kind of security I'm looking at.
Can you describe this door?
The door?
Yeah, the one that's got no sign. Wait, did he notice that? I'm sorry, I thought you were saying that.
He didn't say that.
Oh, I
No,
apologize.
right now I'm trying to eyeball the actual security
Okay.
people.
All right. The security people are extremely well trained. They are Pegasus. They are not the cheapest option for Pegasus security. They are not also the most expensive option, meaning that funds are being used but are not extravagant. And this seems to be the only area you've seen like a couple of Pegasus people in. There's one like directly by the door, and you notice another like hovering around in the area.
Okay, so other security in the place would be more akin to regular club security.
Yes.
Okay.
Guys who can lift up people who are fighting,
Coke dealers.
escort them out of the place.
In the fluorescent yellow shirts, I'm guessing.
Oh, I
Or are
Yes.
they like cool guy dressed?
They are not cool guy dressed. They are fluorescent yellow shirted.
Okay, yeah.
The Pegasus guys are kind of cool guy dressed.
Okay.
But have a secured like Pegasus. I've decided that Pegasus is spelled Pegasys. Pegasus
Yes.
security. Yes, like Pegasus systems.
Or like Terminator Genesis.
Yes. Yes. So there is that. You see that. You see that security is clearly guarding that door. You were asked what kind of door it is. Or
Is this a thing that I can like eyeball?
yeah, give me an awareness mastermind. Or you did an awareness mastermind just now, and it turned out well for you. Right?
No.
No, you generated complications, but you didn't win. Oh, so you kind of lost your place inside the building. Did you take a plot point for it?
Yes.
Good. All right, so you kind of lost your place inside the building, and the security is tighter in this area than you expected, so you kind of don't want to spend too much time there. Because you're starting to stand out a little from the backstage people.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So no info on this door.
Not really. It was
what
just,
it is, what could be behind it. We know nothing about.
It's
why
not like a giant steel door or anything.
no, it's not like a vault
Yeah,
door.
it's a door.
It is a door to a hallway.
that must be where
But
they're keeping all them coins.
It's more about who's protecting it than the actual door itself. And for God's sakes, they're not real coins. Could somebody explain? You know what? No, later.
Touchy.
Goes back into character.
All right. So, who else wants to do a thing while this is happening, or are you guys all finished here?
Can
I think we have it.
I pull up the blueprint and figure out where this door and this hallway leads to in the building?
I would like to help with that, if I could.
Yeah, we'll just say the two of you are in the van, and
So you
Rainbow pulls up the laptops, and Eli immediately recognizes them.
Oh shit!
That hallway leads back to the offices, and then down to the vaults.
So the vault's still there. I bet $1 to a dime the vault's still there.
Okay, I'm starting
And
to
that's
think
where
that
she's keeping all them coins. Yeah.
That's not how it would. I'm just starting to think maybe we need to have a chat with Mr. Capone, because there seems to be more to her than meets the eye.
Why are we gonna talk to him? Kidnap him.
That would get him.
Was step 3 of the initial plan.
That was step 1, actually, I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
it's like the
yes,
first
that
one.
would work.
Sorry.
Step 2 was.
It was step
And
2.
then step 3 was profit.
1 was stage the ransomware attack,
You're right.
which went off swimmingly. Remember when things went off swimmingly, guys?
When I look
No.
at the blueprints that I'm looking at, are they the blueprints of the current building, or are they the blueprints of what the building used to be?
I was going to say, how old is this building?
This building goes back to the 1900s, late 1800s.
Okay.
And the bank was there at least in the 80s.
Okay, so can I have Rainbow pull up what the blueprints used to be when this was a bank, and then could you like do that cool thing where you slide it over the other one, and then I can spot the differences?
Rainbow has automated a program to animate this to slowly stick together.
Yeah. That's
While Eli was talking
what I
about
was looking for. That's exactly a patting her on the back. That's what I'm looking for.
There's a little timer in the corner that starts counting down as Eli's looking at it, and after it gets to 1 and then 0, all the differences highlight in red.
As I do this, I'm just like.
So this was
you've
really more of a
seen far too much
highlights
CSI.
magazine kind of situation.
What was that, Rainbow?
The
said
highlights.
you-
Oh, sorry.
I just, as I'm doing it, I just, you've watched way too much CSI.
So I want to look at the blueprints. Everything goes red. That's fine. That's whatever. I go, and I just kind of point at it. I go, right there, and then we can.
Yeah.
I might want to use that later.
Yes. Okay. Isabel, do you want to keep talking to Marissa, or do you want to move on to something else, and maybe come back to what you and Marissa discussed later, or?
Yeah, let's come back.
Yeah, drop her off. Let her dangle there for a while.
Okay.
Think about that Lotus card, whatever the hell it was. Whatever it was.
The meteor petal.
Meteor pedal.
All right. So, you guys, this scene ends. Commercial break. We move back on to the group, discussing what they're going to do next.
All right. So Rainbow, you said that you can get in touch with Al Capone.
Actually, I think I can.
All right. And I think maybe we need to take a closer look at what might be inside that nightclub. It's going to be a big job, though. If we even know what's in there for sure. But if there's Pegasus there, there's probably something good in there. And if it's not this gold that she's keeping, or these, whatever these, this is like a different government's coins or something, then it's got to be maybe evidence, information, something important. You know, why not hide it in kind of plain sight? You know what I mean? She's not under investigation at all, is she?
She's under suspicion. Marissa's under suspicion, but nothing was ever proven, and it doesn't seem to be an active thing.
Gotcha.
Though investors are pissed. Like, there are some people who are...
Reputation.
Yeah, screwed her reputation and, you know, caused some incidents.
Okay. Now, there's also an angle we could work with you, with Marissa, Rainbow, as Holloman or whatever the fake name was that you do. So, if we get her, I still think we could follow the money if we try to sell her the card. But how do you plan on getting to Capone?
So, I want to pull something. I want to try and see if I can do something on the computer. That message board that he left up.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have the code? Can I dig through it and see if it's... Like, you said it looked like the hospital message system, but is it something that he planted that I could potentially use to communicate with him?
Give me a hacker roll. Just roll straight 8s tonight. Let's see what you get. A hacker intelligence, because this is kind of a hacker versus hacker thing. And you know what? You could apply your clear the registry. Oh, I don't
need it.
Don't need to do that.
Okay, so you roll a 17 over his 8, which is crushing it. And let's see. You discover that he planted this system. It's kind of part of the botnet. Also spreads a chat program that looks kind of benign. Like, I remember back in the day, there was people would keep loading non-AOL chat programs, and it would download like 9 other spamware things, one of which was like Adult Friend Finder, and like 4 different types of solitaire game.
I love solitaire.
Who is loading this on my
That's
school
confusing.
computers? Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird thing to load onto a college public computer. But yes, it's somewhat like that. Basically, one guy clicks on the wrong program, and then it installs this chat messenger somewhere deep in the. You find a routing system. I don't know. My programming is terrible. So you find a way to communicate that is generally very hidden inside of another, like, program. So yes, you might be able to get a message system through Meerkat, using the Meerkat botnet to send a message back to its controller.
Okay. So that's what I want to do. I think I'm gonna send him a message that he might recognize. Basically a message that says, I would have won even if you hadn't gotten arrested. That I had a card waiting to just wreck him.
Oh shit, you're calling him out. Could this somehow end in the dopest card battle ever? Could we somehow end this in the greatest tournament of Magic cards that's ever been played?
I don't know what you do.
Underground magic or
I'm sorry.
Mergic.
Wargather.
I can't War Gatherer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, War Gatherer.
200 XDX.
I'm not sure about that.
Alexa, stop. I fucking hate that thing. Oh, it's so stupid. It just talks in the middle of the night, tells me the weather.
At least it's not still doing that creepy thing where it giggles at nothing.
What? Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, the Furbies.
Ooh,
No,
no.
Alexa was doing that.
Alexa used to giggle at nothing.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It
One
was-
time,
it was
it
weird.
was like 3 in the morning. We're in bed, and she went, "You're welcome." And we were like, "What the fuck?" And Amanda looked it up, and because it has on her
Compliment
phone.
grubbing asshole.
Well, it has on her phone every command that it's given. Like when I say, "Alexa, shut up," it'll say, "Alexa, shut up" on Amanda's phone. And it said somebody said something to it. Like it heard somebody say something to it and said, "You're welcome." Do you remember what it was? I think somebody said "thank you," and it was
Alright.
ugh, spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of thing where botnets are born. Like,
Well,
Alexa is not a especially secure device.
I
but
do not enjoy her. I do not like her in my home.
It is a. I have a Google Home, so I'm no better. But the worst thing is actually your cable box. Your cable box is a breeding ground for bots. But anyway, so yes. So what were you guys talking about? There's a way to communicate. You get a message back pretty much immediately saying, "You're absolutely lying."
And then I'll send a message back. That's weird because I'm starting to think you're lying when you say you had a part in stealing money from Marissa.
There's no way you're that good. There's no way a putz like you could never pull that off.
Oh, you're feeding him lines.
Yeah,
I just thought you were being...
Say that.
The idea is...
Wow, morale has dropped hard.
Can we all be gathered around Rainbow loving that Rainbow's shit-talking somebody?
I don't think Rainbow
Do we
needs
even
help.
understand the shit talking, or is it all like...
You're talking shit talking.
Yeah, shit-talking, man. I don't understand the context.
It sounds sassy, but I do not understand these words.
But yeah, it's like I would beat you again any day if you I would wreck you in another tournament.
Can
Keep
we
telling
draw
yourself
to
that.
another tournament?
He too has been banned for life. Or not. Well, yeah, banned for life. Because, getting arrested at a tournament. Kind of a big deal, made news.
But now
Are there
that...
underground tournaments?
There probably are. I'm sure.
That was only half joking.
Like,
No,
do
no.
you want there to be? Do you need
Yes.
them? Okay, there are underground wargamer tournaments. They're basically unsanctioned.
They play for pink slips.
They schedule it on the dark web.
They play for cards.
Yeah, basically they play for things that you can't...
Okay, when the game initially came out, there was something called ante, where you would put a card down to ante, and if you won the game, you won the other person's ante.
Was that like their whole deck?
No, it was just the one card they put up.
Like, you'd put up a card like...
You're
Meteor
describing the
Pack.
game Marbles.
Basically, it was... But imagine...
You old-timey weirdo.
No, this was the thing with an early collectible
Then
card game.
take their Aggie.
Yeah, in Magic the Gathering. Which is, like, it was a betting thing, and they got rid of it very early. Because no one likes losing their shit.
Yeah,
There's
that
also a
sounds
thing in
awful.
one of the early seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if you lost, you had to give up your rarest card in your deck.
Damn right. Now this I understand. This is gambling.
Yeah, that's gambling.
Hell yeah.
Cutthroat schoolyard
I
shit.
am 6,000,000% behind this, and I support your decision, Rainbow, to try and crush this person.
Basically, he says any...
Has she tried that yet? Are we all in for crushing this person with cards?
Let's see, how would
Will not help
Rainbow...
our client in any way, shape, or form.
It usually ends up helping somehow.
We can make this work with flashbacks. We can make it work. Remember.
Yeah, remember, you can make it work. All right, so you get him hooked, hook, line, and sinker on this. He's like anytime, anywhere.
Okay, yeah, that I will put aside. The big thing is I want... Rainbow thinks there's more to this than we know. Like, that he took the fall or something, but he had no part in the theft, or he got double-crossed or something, because Marissa seems into way bigger things than just laundering
That's very
Brett
true.
coin.
You rolled
Or
well enough.
Bitcoin.
You know that there are 3 users on this system now that you created a user spot for yourself.
Okay.
Is there any way for me to tell who's the other? I'll roll for it if you want me to roll for it. But...
This will be a difficult roll, so you'll be rolling against 2d12s.
Backtrace the interface to the Flax
All right,
Wagner.
so you've got to beat a 14 for this because this is an extremely secure system put together by very smart people.
I bet
right.
Isabel $1 that it's Marissa. I bet you
Taking
$1.
that bet, it's
I'm
Marissa.
gonna.
Well, yeah. Bert, I
I'm-
bet you $1 it's Marissa. You'll take the bet.
I'm gonna add a D8 hyper
Do you
focus.
just need to borrow $1?
I'm fucking rich.
Oh, and that didn't roll
Okay,
right. Hold
you
on.
rolled
That
2d10
was
210 plus
real
1.
great.
So rewrite that one.
Yeah, yep.
Nope, 218 again.
Wait, hold on. I can throw some stuff on.
No,
Wait,
he,
218.
yeah.
Uh,
You keep forgetting to
missed
put
the
the
thing.
D in the 2d10.
Yeah,
He's
I got
rolling
it. I got it right this.
210 D8s.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so you've rolled a complication and you haven't beaten it.
I'm gonna. I
What?
only have 2 plot points, but I think I'd like to throw a plot point on there so he could push ahead and
All right.
he could beat this because I feel like this could be this is important, right? Wait, are you just seeing who the users are, or are you
I'm-
getting
I'm-
their computer?
I'm just trying to confirm. I think I'm just trying to confirm who the other person is.
I keep dropping shit.
I have a feeling that we know. So do you want me to hold on to these plot points? I only got 2 of them, and I need a shit ton for the.
Yeah, you'll probably be fine with. You can't. A complication was generated, and you don't know what it is yet. However, you don't find out directly who the third person is, but to be honest, you have a good guess.
Yeah, I just wanted a confirmation. Okay, so then actually, that's more of a confirmation in the other direction. They're onto something. Oh boy, I'm a bad grifter. But I think I'm going to try to talk my way into it.
Could Isabel help with that? Like, could we swap and now Isabel feeds you exactly?
Yeah,
what to say?
yeah.
Isabel has already set herself up as Holly Evans' go-to or intermediary.
No, but this is all online you're doing, right?
Right.
But you're not the best grifter, so maybe just have Isabel like crack back and fucking really rile this guy up.
Well,
to
because
get
like I'm thinking if I'm into their private chat program, they're obviously running something, and
Yeah, maybe you don't want to be noticed at all.
I'm already noticed because I already said
Oh.
something. What I was thinking is that I want to basically be like talk my way into part of the deal or something.
That's why I don't know. I think Isabel's the grifter.
Well, here's the thing. You want to do it. Are you going to do it yourself, or are you going to ask for help?
You know what? I'm gonna. I think I'll
You are
ask.
hyper-focused. I will...
You know what?
Hyper-focus
I'm gonna take the
is-
risk. I think I'm gonna try to talk my way into it myself, and I'm going to also spend a plot point. One of my plot points. Can I say that the meteor pedal is an asset, that I'm putting that up as like my buy-in into whatever they're doing?
You'll ante it.
Yes.
All right. So you've got to roll against a 7.
Okay. And so this is this in willpower grifter then?
Yes.
Okay. 1d8, 1d6.
Oh,
That went
okay.
better than I thought it would.
11. You have killed it. So you basically ante up the. You goad him into, demanding like a match. And he says, "I'll be free in, let's say, we'll just move up the timeline. I'll be free in 3 days. After that, I will see you at. You know what? No, I don't think that would work out well for you guys. I'm trying to think of no,
You
because he
want to
says,
leave like no time and date? Maybe we pull that out at the end or something.
yeah, we'll say no time and
Time and place.
he says I'll meet you. He said he'd meet you anywhere, anywhen.
Okay.
So where do you think would be a good location to do this?
This guy's really got some high opinion of himself. He's under fucking FBI watch. He's like, anytime, anywhere, man. What the fuck if you're arrested? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I think he can get them to go with him, though.
Yeah, they weren't too sharp. That's a good point.
And to be honest, he's under protective custody as well, kind of. But like,
Yeah, so
It's true.
they kind of have to. Like, he can call the shots on if he wants to go somewhere like this. But where? The Art
Then-
Museum.
I mean, if only there were a location that had things.
You
in
know,
it.
some sort of club or something.
yeah, no, I think the vault's a good place.
Well, maybe not in the
Does
vault.
he know that
Maybe
that's
in the
hers?
club.
I'm thinking this could be a setup for bigger things if we do it in the vault. But the rest of it would be up to do the rest of you.
So
That's an option.
if we do it in the club is called the Vault, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Not
that's-
literally in the
I thought
vault.
they meant in the vault, right? Okay.
No, if you make a club and a bank, you call it the vault. Let's be honest.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Philly
Okay.
had a club and a bank. I don't remember the name of it.
So then we'll all of this, everything that we're doing right now, remember, is make sure that we put this motherfucker away and make sure that he can't make these fucking viruses anymore. So we have to make sure that whatever we do guts both him and we assume Marissa is involved in this.
Totally.
We're a pretty stone cold 100%. So but we don't have anything on either of them to really use against them except stealing all that missing money. But would stealing all that missing money do anything? It won't stop him from creating viruses anymore. We're gonna have to somehow pin that shit on him.
Well, here's one of the things: is the money's missing, but if it comes back up, it'll quickly. Here's one of the things about that you, Eli, would not understand. Once that money hits the Bitcoin scene again, it's publicly visible.
Okay.
Because it's all in what is it called, blockchain.
Is it almost marked like real money, and they can know that was stolen?
People would know it was the money that is known to be stolen.
Like from a bank. Like when you steal money from a bank, and they're like,
Yeah, because of the serial
but
numbers.
They can track that. That's
Yeah,
legit.
people think Bitcoin's more anonymous than it is. But
Well,
if
then that would definitely be Eli's fucking plan then.
So I think
Missing money.
that part would be up to you guys getting down to the vault, and because if they're presumably hiding the money, and getting a hold of such things.
So that
What?
is my business. That is what I did. What were you saying, Isabel?
What if we set up a highly illegal underground tournament with a high Bitcoin buy-in for antes? And just kind of spread it around that, give it to Al Capone, be like, I will be here. And just kind of spread it around that there's going to be a meteor pedal up for ante.
Would
God,
we
I-
have to pitch it to Maureen to like, hey, you should have this in your club, or could we just set it up in her club and have it start going?
I was thinking set it up in her club, like with her, because we still have that I can flash
Yeah.
back to.
She would.
also
dude.
Marissa was a player too.
Yeah.
She would definitely.
Yeah.
she'd love-
We could do
Marissa's
the.
a player.
I
that
just thought it'd be fun to
advances
spring a
most of
tournament on her also.
Especially if we sprinkle on this crowd, there's gonna be an epic showdown. But not say maybe
And
who
that the
it-
fancy card might be involved.
Yeah, well, definitely say the card that's on the table because that'll bring everybody out. but say there may be a rivalry put to
See,
that.
you guys don't even have to make it illegal. It could just be not official.
Well, yeah,
remember,
not
he's
official.
Not allowed.
But I
Yeah,
think-
but like we'll make it feel illegal.
You know what? I think
These-
that's what it is.
It's illegally themed.
These crooked, these crooked
Speakeasy
dealings.
Hybrid, a hybrid coin tournament, maybe with the prize for the winner of the tournament is that meteor
Use the
pedal.
meteor pedal.
Hybrid coin. I mean, that'd be tempting for a lot of people.
Yeah, that would. All right, so you guys set that up because you're good at what you do. Do you want to establish that through flashbacks where who convinces Marissa to put it on? Would it be?
I think it should be Burke.
Yeah, maybe Burke with Isabel in his ear.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre. I feel like we keep flip flopping with.
It's good for everybody to be cross trained.
Or
Or
set it up with, the flashback to Isabel and Marissa talking. Isabel
That's a
just
good point.
like,
So we're already there.
yeah, so we do that flashback where Isabel's sets up, or Evelyn. There is a cat on my chair. All right, he wanted to get his face on camera. All right. Normally it's just his butt. Alright, so, yes, Isabel sets that up quite easily with Miranda, and we will cut to the tournament because it is time to start, I feel. I know you don't have enough, but the group can pool their...
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Group
feel like
can
for
pull
the
points.
finale, we should be able to just like flip flop our. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need points.
Plot
Here's
points.
a plot point. Here's a plot point.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
I still maintain that some of these plot points should be able to roll over.
From
I don't
our
think I
other
actually
jobs.
used any last one, and I think I got like 3 or 4.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah,
That's
well,
on you.
Yeah, I
I
have
mean,
two. and
I'm very direct.
I feel like we're playing the system mostly correct, so, whatever.
Mostly correct.
having fun, and that's what's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alright. Oh, I've come a long way from the DM I used to be. Alright. Okay, so we are at the tournament. The tournament has begun. The
This is-
tables.
This is the wrap up, right? This is like.
This is the beginning of the wrap up.
Yeah.
So I'm setting the stage, and then you guys can tell me like how you want it to proceed,
Okay.
and how you're benefiting the group doing certain actions. So Marissa opens the club during the daytime for this exclusive tournament. The sign outside says closed, but you still see like 1 or 2 people like looking around and going in like they think they're being sly, and then there's like a full bar set up, and we'll put the 2 FBI agents at the bar just looking bored, and one like they're on their phones because they don't care about this stuff.
Okay.
All right, and are all and let's say Rainbow would be playing. There wouldn't be an announcer per se, but there might be like someone telling someone else what's going. Oh, the tall skinny FBI agent could be telling the shorter black FBI agent what is going on in the games.
He's a fan. Okay.
Yeah, so he knows what's going on, and he's just like, oh, this is like if we need any game like play by play, that can be how we narratively structure it.
Looped
And
the
she
pig.
just
She
does
flipped the
not
pig.
care. She's just like,
Huh?
I don't care. Shut up.
Need another drink.
I just want to watch like football or something. I don't want to be here. Stupid card games.
All right. Yes.
So is
So-
it Rainbow playing against
I think it would start out early in the tournament. It would be me just wrecking.
Randos.
Yeah.
We're montaging this game.
Yes, we are doing a montage of games.
Very quickly, like
tables,
slapping cards down. Wow!
like 6 tables full of people, and then like 3
Nice
tables.
overhead shot.
Like yeah, as it winnows down, and more people end up on the sidelines watching the big games happen. Until actually, give me a intelligence hacker roll for what do you call it, for Rainbow to, or What are you doing, Cat? Sorry. He knows that if he gets in my lap, I'll pet him to keep him out of the shot. That's why. All right. So yes, give me a hacker intelligence to do well in this game, which you are very good at. You can add your hyper focus. That could be a benefit or a drawback to you.
I was gonna say hyper focused or geek. I could probably
Geek, definitely.
get away with that. A D8 here. We'll add it.
All right, so you have a 10 over 5. So you're killing it in this tournament. You're knocking people out left and right. What did you want them to ante? What did you want Al Capone to ante up?
You know what?
Or do you want to just talk about that later?
Yeah, we'll talk. No. I think
Because what are his stakes are pride. And maybe something else.
I think the ante up for the to get in, they offered 15 for the meteor pedal, and I think so then I would put to buy into the tournament, make it 20.
20,000 to buy into the tournament for him, or because you're not going to get a lot of players if you make it 20,000.
Okay, you know what?
But you couldn't have him being or we could leave it vague for now.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it vague.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, he's there. That's what matters. Pride might be enough for him.
That's going to be a kicker for us.
Yeah. I mean, people would pay money to be in this tournament, but I'm not sure they would pay thousands.
No.
Especially because most of them know they won't win it. All right. So the games go on. They're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you are playing against him right now. So give me a roll for a move to see if it goes in your direction or his direction. And you can use hacker intelligence. We're going to do this in a little different style.
Okay.
So give me that roll. All right, you got a 12, just edging him out. So the play goes back and forth with you, just edging him out a little bit. Now, someone give me a flashback.
All right, so in the middle of that happening?
Yes, or what the rest of you are doing. You can either do something you're currently doing or a flashback.
All right, I was thinking that I'm going to be... Isabel, what's your secondary?
Hitter.
Hitter?
And security is here.
Okay. Oh yeah. So here's what I'm thinking is it's going to be me and I'll say it's going to be me and Isabel in a different section of the building. It's quieter, and it's like you still hear like the noise from what's going on, but there's not a lot of people. It almost looks like kind of closed off. Like there's no people who come up here, and I go, no, see, and I don't know if we're allowed to do this because like we're not the thieves technically.
No, you're thieves. You're all thieves.
Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm like I have this big bag open and I'm like starting to dig through this bag and putting down like poles and stuff, and I go, now, if you can see, we can tell this beam here, these were all original. This was all built back in the 1900s, and now it was refurbished on this side, and you can tell by the way that the archway is going. You see that? You see the change in the brick right there? That is a clear difference between
Grandpa, I'm looking.
between the old stone and the new stone that they used. And he starts like, and he like fixes this like thing that he's making, and he makes this sort of like apparatus on 4 like stilt legs, and he kind of clicks it into place, and it's basically a giant drill that he's building on this thing. Goes, now,
Questions.
yes. By
How
all
old
means.
is that thing? And where the fuck did you get it?
So this is
Do you want to do a flashback, or do you want to just explain?
sure, because this was just a change in scene, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So
because you're doing this currently while the game is being played.
So, how old is that thing, and where did you get it?
Where the fuck did you get it?
So you see, basically a very similar situation, not in the same
Different bank, clearly different bank.
different bank, but same situation where it's Eli setting up this apparatus, this thing up while someone is sitting there telling him how to put it together, and it's like a young woman, beautiful young woman. They both have these masks kind of up on the top of their heads, and they're in their like jumpsuits, like the black jumpsuits. He's obviously ready to do a job, and she's teaching him how to build it, and he's like, well, I don't get it. This thing's all complicated. She goes, no, it's like putting together a puzzle. See, you just put this part into that part, and you're good to go. It's like, all right, and it, gets it ready, and then and starts it, and it's loud as hell. And he goes, well, all right. And as they sit there, they're like, we got company, and people start like running. He goes, hold him off, and they're just like, his friends start going off and turns into this shit show. And it's like, okie dokie. And then he goes, oh man, years ago. Not sure if it still works, but it's cool gas. Oh, did we lose it?
Still got audio.
Okay, cool.
All
right, give me a thief strength roll for putting it together, or thief strength.
Uh-oh. I have neither of those are good.
Yeah.
All right. Where's strength? Oh, here it is. And thief is I have nothing for thief, so what do I do for that?
D6.
I have something.
Okay.
You should have something. It should be a D6.
Okay, so
Or I think it was a D8. Because we bumped you up.
Okay, then it's 1d6 and 1d8.
I don't know that you're gonna get this. So you put it together and you've got it in the right spot, but this is gonna be loud.
It's
All right.
just like, wait. You know that Burt coins aren't like physical coins, right?
It's very important.
Why do you all
that
keep
you know.
saying that?
You know how like you can write a check for $1,000?
Isabel, hold on. Whatever we need is in this vault. Whether it's coins, paper, bricks, or floppy disks, or whatever you kids use. It's down in that vault. I know it is. I know there's something in that vault that if we get to, this will all blow over easier. We just need to get in there. And I know we can get in there with this. And if you're worried about anybody hearing it, well, I don't know if you're really going to have to worry about that. And he smiles.
Oh, God.
And,
you. All right.
And, so
I don't even know what you've done.
I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, but I'm ready to go to.
All right, give me an Isabel roll, or give me a not Isabel roll. Isabel's just in that scene to be the sound. But
Can she give me advantage?
no, we're going to do a rainbow roll.
I actually wanted her to be there in case people showed up, and she could just.
We're doing a rainbow roll of the game.
Okay.
Oh, this move, it looks like he's got you on the ropes, and he is moving big creatures into position in his war gather deck. All right, who wants to give me something else? What's Burke up to?
I am back in my Miranda outfit, and skulking close to the Pegasus security people because I'm expecting something very loud and catastrophic to happen at any given moment, and I think
give me a hitter awareness or hitter alertness.
Okay, that is a 10.
1+.
Up and an 8.
So you got a 1 complication of 9, and I have to roll my 2d6. Ooh. So the security are like, excuse me, miss, you gotta move. This is a private area.
Okay.
You can't be back here today. There's background music, but it's not very loud. Like the club is not hopping at the moment. Unless you guys wanted it to be. If
I figured it would be like intense club music at this point, but
I would say it's probably moderate because they're playing. It's like a tournament.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
So I would. Is that? Do you do anything in your scene? I don't know what to.
Yeah. What else were you trying to get into position?
Yeah.
And this is them moving you out of position.
Okay. So I do a little. I'm wearing a boa.
Yes.
And I give it a little tossle to one of them.
You're gonna have to move along. Or we're gonna have to move along, miss.
Whatever. Back up a little bit.
Alright, now let's get another rainbow thing.
Whatever.
See how the game's going. Alright, so he got an 8 and you got a 10. Okay, so you've recovered your board position. And you you counter one of his spells. Alright, Isabel, do you have anything going on?
So could you?
Isabel is
You don't need to be helping me still. If you want it
Yeah.
to be throughout
Yeah.
the club, it could it could benefit us more.
Isabel is going to like go outside to where like all of the eliminated players are,
Mm-hmm.
like hanging out.
Over by the bar, probably?
Hmm.
Or no, over having a smoke.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just kind of like bum a cigarette from somebody and sigh deeply.
Oh, hey, what's the matter?
That game that's going on right now is nerve-wracking as hell.
I know, it's like really cool that like the both of them came back. It's just like years ago. Did you know I was there? It's so cool.
Oh my god, you were there? That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I hate this so much.
Yeah, I was there. Like I saw the cops come in before they even got there.
Get off my
Did it,
lawn!
though?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Like, do you think he actually did it though?
Did what? The crime?
Yeah.
Or like one?
No, he couldn't win.
I mean,
No way he could have won that game.
there's no way she could have. Her board position was so weak.
Yeah, but have you seen the shit she pulls sometimes? She top deck like a motherfucker.
Oh,
In another
God, I
show,
love it so
Rainbow's
much.
apparently the main character of the anime who just gets lucky.
Believes in the heart of the cards.
Yeah.
And you're like top decking, and you. What are you trying to get this guy? What are you trying to?
Well,
Or she just like. What she's doing here is by an open door, to be honest,
yeah,
because this is a door like where people are going outside to smoke.
yeah.
So maybe that could be what Isabel is doing, is making sure that door stays open.
Yeah.
All right, so you're in position. Do you have mastermind? You have it. I mean, give me a mastermind alertness.
Oh boy.
Oh, actually, sorry, that was the wrong roll.
Hey,
Would be
yeah, give me some
delete. No, not that one. There it is. Okay. So yeah.
mastermind alertness. And
Yes.
also, I'm gonna argue for cocky at a D8.
Okay.
Okay.
I will give it to you. All right, so you've already beaten it, and your cocky's killing it. So you can get this guy like riled up and into an argument about play strategies, not even knowing too much about the game, just like countering everything he says with like some vaguely failed in not vaguely veiled insult, like how you're getting him riled up. And
Probably a flashback to Rainbow giving Isabel a crash course on the terminology.
all right, so you guys have +2 now.
And
All
why
right.
does this card hurt people's feelings?
Oh, because it's terrible, and if it's in your deck, it shouldn't be. And if you see someone using it, they are just the worst.
So,
And he's wearing a T-shirt of that card. Yes.
God.
It is the trolliest card in the game.
Yeah.
Mill 20. Jesus, what the hell? All right. So, Isabel or Rainbow, give me one more positioning roll.
Okay.
Win the game.
Is this to finish him off or?
You are recovered. So yes, if you want to finish him off, or do you want to win the game, or do you want to lose the game?
Oh, she wants to win.
Yeah.
And so the reason I ask if it's to win is because I want to spend one of them plot points I got sitting there because I still got a couple left to create an asset that I wasn't lying when I said I had a card sitting there that could beat him. And it basically right now looks like I'm in bad position, but I have a card when I have this specific monster out that will counter his like big attack or whatever. And if it's successful, he destroys himself because he thought he was in the perfect position.
Yes.
Basically, the idea is she runs a counter deck rather than a tag deck.
So knowing specifically what deck he was using. Okay, so you kill it. You got in 16 over his 6.
You gotta throw a one-liner on it. You have to throw a one-liner on it.
So he swings, he's like, just like last time, except now no one's coming to stop me. And he swings in with everything. And you play.
It's, basically I have Gigatortoise X in
Gigatortoise XDX?
Yes, exactly. And the card is basically like a trap card. I activate my trap card basically, and it is Gigatortoise Reflector Shield, which means he's gonna just take all this damage himself.
And he just looks up at you and is like, "No, no."
At that moment,
at
that exact moment, at the climax of their game, Eli opens his flip phone and puts on his glasses, takes off the goggles that he's wearing for the drill, puts on
his reading glasses.
Said it'd be this one. And on his phone it says initializing, and then it's a shot to a computer in the the wub-dub office with all the music. I don't know what it is.
The booth.
The booth. And
booth.
On their computer it says initializing. And he goes, puts on his goggles, and then waits, and it says playing. And it's the loudest fucking music. It's way too loud. Like, everyone in the club, as soon as the guy goes, "No way," he goes, boom, and just and he rips the cord and goes, "Now, Burke!" And as he starts drilling, all of the security start like what the hell, and they all start going on the move. And so you have to make sure they don't.
Yeah, I'm going to, because I assume now they know something is up. And they're on high alert.
They're going to move you, like, right out of, they're like, you're still in their way. They're going to, like, throw you to the, like, push you to the side.
I am going to, before they even know what's happening, I, again, in my bright pink wig, am going to charge right at them with, and also add my only suckers fight fair to my roll.
Okay.
So this is going to be a strength.
And the music is covering it all.
Strength hitter.
And an extra 8.
Yes. All right, so you just run in there. How do you beat the shit out of these two guys?
Oh god, you crush.
All right, I just plow into one who's right in front of the other and just knock them both into the wall and knock them out. How many are there?
2. I mean, there's 2 of the Pegasus guys. And there are, like, other random security guys.
Okay, I figure that'll take out the random security guys. The Pegasus guys might need a little bit more work.
Yeah, one of them doesn't leave the door.
Okay.
The other one wants to engage you.
I'm just going to eyeball him. Is he wearing, like, any, like, armor or anything?
He would have a bulletproof vest on under his suit.
Okay, but no, like, helmet or anything?
No.
Okay.
He's not SWAT.
Okay. Then I yank off the wig and just hurl it at his face to blind him momentarily. And
all right, they get an extra D6.
Just drop right down on his face.
All right, give me a roll against 10 is mine.
All right, that's going to be another 10. Oop, and another 10, and another 6. Wait. No, that's if you give me an opportunity. Okay, so
I can throw you something.
All right, so that is a 10.
All right, so you have.
You'd like to throw me something? I think
I
that
have
would be a
Archangel.
good time.
I have Archangel. I'm gonna throw Archangel on top of that because I have 2 plot points.
All right.
So I'm gonna use one of them and throw you another die.
Okay.
Am I able to? Do I choose what die it is? Like based on whatever.
It's a D10, I believe. I think it was a D10.
All right. So then, I guess.
You get one more D10. How are you archangeling this? Just give me something.
Give you something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing you would have done. You built a scale model of this back in the day, and you did it again, and you're like, here's where those 2 guys will be.
Yeah, I actually showed you now right where they are, based on the description you gave me. That this wall's going to be a weaker wall. He'll think that it'll be able to support his weight. Wrong. He'll go right through it, and on the other side, it used to be a janitor closet, but they put this like carpet down, but the carpet's real thin, and they have this beautiful mosaic tile underneath. And if you slam his head hard enough, he'll knock right out. Not die because it's cushioned, but it will knock his ass out.
All right, so that's perfect.
So you'll go through a wall, technically.
Yeah, you're using Eli's architectural skill.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, can I throw architect on there somehow?
Do you have architect?
Yes.
Eli had a
Literally
job.
architect?
It's been on there since game
It's
1.
been on there since
Okay.
the beginning of our game.
Alright.
I just have never needed to use it, but that's why he knows exactly where to drill and
All right.
how the building works. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, add another D10.
Do it up.
Let's see if you can get this. All right, it's still not enough. So, but it tied. So
No,
he's
it's 5, 5, and 4, right?
Yeah.
well, it's not cumulative. It's 5 and 5 as opposed to 4 and 6.
Can't you use a plot point to add
You
that
use the
extra?
top 2. Oh, you can use a plot point to add one of your numbers, one of your other dice.
Oh,
too.
yeah, then I absolutely do.
Oh yeah.
I thought that's what I did though. By throwing.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. So
Anyway, it
it's
would be
enough.
like up to
It's
4.
enough to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that
Yeah.
skill works.
There's like 3 ways to make it work numerically in the system, but
Whatever.
whatever.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Alright, so-
We're the
in his
best.
face,
We're the
just
best at
crash
what we
into
do.
him. Head on the
Bam.
floor, mosaic. Oh, it's a little.
Mosaic. Mosaic.
Yeah, he jars his brain and looks, and he's out. You guys do go flying through a wall into what is like, the janitor metal rack with like 4 things on it that go flying when you jump through them. It's a great scene. All right. I feel like saying that undercuts everything I said before. So, all right.
It's gorgeous. Everybody claps.
In my mind, it works great, guys. Yeah.
Now,
So you bang him into the floor, and you are technically through that door because the room you crashed him into leads into that hallway.
All right, then I get up and go.
All right. So what's happening? What's the next thing that happens?
I think the drill would burst through.
Yeah, the drill bursts into the vaulted area.
So down the hall is going to be where the vault actually is.
Yeah.
And so as you start making your way towards the vault during the crazy loud music, we can cut to somebody else before this, but I imagined you walked up to the vault and the vault door just and opens. And Eli is in it and he goes, "There's no gold. There's no coins in here. I fucked up."
It's just a bunch of server racks.
He's covered in dust and just like smoking. There's not a single thing in here. Just a bunch of computers.
All right. So
He doesn't know what to do.
all right. So what happens next? I mean, you guys are in control here. How does this next step go? You just grab the servers and
I
run,
would
or
say, where's our van?
Well, okay. So we just need the servers. You're muted, Kevin.
van is right outside the smoking area.
All right.
Okay.
So do you know what to grab, Burke?
Imagine
All the servers, right? Yeah.
I'd
What do I
imagine
grab?
that Rainbow would have told you that because we need the codes for the Bitcoin, so we mostly just need the hard drives with
Let's
the
take
data.
them. So we start throwing all the hard drives into the bag while the loud ass music is playing. But now it's probably the drill is done. So we just are sitting there throwing, instead of throwing money into a bag, we're throwing servers into a bag while you guys are, I guess, distracting whoever's going on up there. And then we're gonna bamf out the same hole that I drilled through, and just leave the just leave the vault open like that.
Why wouldn't you go out through the door and then through the smoking area?
Yeah, we already set that up.
Because
Yeah,
so it's like a side door.
Like I set up a climbing rig, and you're like,
Door's right open.
Oh shit! I zip off my old jumpsuit and throw it, and not my old jumpsuit, but a jumpsuit, so I'm not covered in dust. And yeah.
all right. So you guys effectively pull it off, where you guys are. You make your way out with a bag of servers, basically like Santa Claus. Eli has written giant dollar signs on these for fun.
I hate this new century. Money ain't money anymore.
I don't think you were big on the 20th century.
Banks or nightclubs. I hate this. But this does
like
feel
1860s gold rush is where you really peaked.
They start discovering the damage back. One of them sees the. Let's see. Marissa runs back and sees the knocked out security guard. Her eyes get like huge and wide, and looks like down the hallway to see the vault open, and yells for. Oh my god! I blanked on his name. I always do this.
Can one of the security guys be tied up with a rainbow boa?
No, the security guy that's unconscious does have the boa around him.
And the wig on his face.
And the wig on his face, like backwards. So yeah, Al, she's like, damn it, Al, you messed this all up. What the hell? And they start yelling at each other. And but as that happens, the four of you walk out the smoking door.
And as they're yelling to each other, because it's too loud, the music, they're like screaming at each other. I hand the phone over to Rainbow, and Rainbow turns the music off. And just as they scream some like really dumb, incriminating shit at each other.
Crime is awesome!
That'd be perfect with the FBI guys right there.
Someone stole all that money we stole! And then there's the big tall guy just like eating a cocktail weenie on a thing like right behind her. And so yeah, that we'll cut that scene there. You guys walk out of the building, out the smoking door into the van with the music playing as the four of you line up in a very cinematic leverage maneuver.
Very heist.
All right, we're gonna cut to another scene of you guys in the bar talking to the original victim, Stephen Munch, telling him about how like this won't be a problem ever again and the news report is going on about how they were in together the whole time. That it was the money missing was significant, but it wasn't nearly as much as they claimed it was, and it was a Ponzi scheme to begin with that got more legitimate than they expected, and that they are now both like under indictment for a slew of financial crimes, robbery, false testimony.
So we really just needed to like tap the Jenga tower and watch it fall. Like
You needed to get the information out there because the only evidence was on those servers.
Which I assume Rainbow just.
Yeah.
We could have just left it in the back seat of the FBI car.
That's a bit.
Yeah, I don't trust
No,
that they have
that's
the resources to know what to do with it. I
Yeah.
think you would have
I
to
don't think Eli would want to
nudge them a little bit more.
that. Like, I just stole this. I'm not going to give it to the FBI. What do you
Here is evidence of a thing that you need to care about.
So the FBI is all over that, and everyone's, the crimes of Al Capone and Mole Man are well documented and known, and they are going down.
Can we claim these FBI agents as assets in the future?
I was actually about to use my last plot point.
They have names, descriptions, and personalities. So yes,
Gerard and Delmark?
Oh, good. So
Rory Gerard and Shaniqua Delmark.
I was going to try to find Rory Gerard while he was at a legit card tournament. And I was gonna have it that he's sitting there and he's like, wow, I won again. I've never won this many times in a row. And it's like, you must be new at this game. Yeah, you can say that, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I got the cards in front of me, and I'm like not holding them right. This is I miss poker. Do we play that anymore? Thanks.
Does anyone else want to have any wrap-up scenes? Because we are quickly coming up on time.
I think a good one might be if Isabel's down for it, Rainbow teaching Isabel actually how to play the game. Just like
I would also like to be sitting at the table learning the game.
Yeah.
So
And I
in
can
what
imagine-
sense is this like fighting?
You're like, oh wait, it's not fighting, it's tactics. It's not soldiers, it's generals. And like Burke sees the cards in like a whole new.
All right, you motherfuckers.
that's perfect.
Oh, I'm Patton. All right, and with that, we will wrap it up. You guys have taken down another bad guy, taken down by the team.
Nightclub heist. I like it. Nightclub heist. I'm glad that we could incorporate both a big epic card tournament and stealing from a vault.
I know, I wanted both in one episode.
Yeah, that was. At first, I was thinking of going and strong arm robbing them, like with guns and stuff. But I was like, this isn't. That's not.
A little more finesse.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we got to start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So next week, I think, might actually be the last episode of Leverage. I'm thinking of doing. Next week's going to be the season finale, we'll call it. And after that, we might run a few more one-shots, but eventually we're going to be handing the slot over on Wednesdays in the new year to Vampire, which we are excited about. Vampire 1943 LA. But first, let's also tonight, starting at midnight, there is Welcome to Kotaset, or Kotaset, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, on this channel. So stay tuned for that at midnight. Premiering, beginning now, or beginning at midnight. This is the first session. I believe they're doing a character session, so that'll be fun. Real good people there. All right, so let's go around. Jeff, I know you rarely have anything, so
I'm good.
hi.
Hi.
Okay, Michi, what you got going on?
Hi, I'm Michi at MichiStars on Twitter. I'm here every other Thursday for Pokemon, which I don't think is happening this week because I am traveling. And yeah, that's all I got.
You have things in development that you can't talk about yet. All right, Evan.
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm Zombie Love Juice on Twitter and Instagram and everything, and I have a Patreon. It's also Zombie Love Juice, and I do art and stuff, and film stuff, and voice stuff, and I have a YouTube series called Everyman Hybrid, which is pretty neat, and yeah, that's pretty much all. Oh, and I love playing D&D on this channel. I got this one, and then we're gonna do vampires pretty soon. That's after the new year, right?
Yes, starting in January, I believe.
Cool, yeah, so I'm gonna be in that too.
All right. Nerdy Teddy.
Hey, I'm Nerdy Teddy Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Teddy Bear. Find out all the cool stuff I'm doing, which is right now Leverage. I'm gonna assume some of these one-shots coming up. I love playing on Wednesdays. And Thursdays I'm in the Shadowrun New Atlantis game, as well as I will be there for Pokemon tomorrow. Which last week, I know it was just a couple of us last week, and me and Michi had a lot of fun with everybody beating some Pokemon up. And other than that, I'm also excited for Vampire the Masquerade, so keep your eye out for that. There's going to be some stuff. I know some people are working on some things for that.
Keep it down over there.
I think you
I
can.
thought I muted it. I'm sorry. I clicked it.
So,
I know Thrax put out a couple of photos so far, and they have been quite awesome.
Oh,
yes.
if anybody needs them, I just got this catalog called Affordable Hats.
Ooh, fashionable hats.
Or fashionable hats, sorry. But they're also very
It's a
affordable.
whole magazine. It's a whole magazine for fashionable hats.
You'd think it's a niche market, but you'd be wrong. It's an everyone market.
They're like $40 if anybody needs a costume hat.
I've got
That's
it
not
covered.
bad for that kind of hat.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on my dog tags to come in to take my picture.
Nice.
Coming in from Etsy.
All right, so my name is Kevin Myers. I'm also known as Bisonic. You can find me on the Discord. Links to it below. I'm always there because I'm addicted. And Jim Devison on Twitter. And thank you for watching, everybody. I'm looking forward to the vampire. And once again, welcome to Codaset. We'll be starting at midnight. Give them a watch. It's going to be their first stream, so you're getting right in on the ground floor.